Should jazz hands.
I did.
Oh,
It was like the
jazz
more
hands.
you know, but like a little bit more jazzy.
Oh crap! I forgot the settings. Mm. If if I keep my microphone on, it record everything on my microphone, so I have to like physically turn my microphone off. And I didn't push to talk that. Okay.
And I started investing lately. And I keep forgetting that it's the weekend and the stock isn't open on the weekend. So, like, what did it do? Oh, it doesn't do anything right now.
I wouldn't put anything in the stock market right now.
Not in the
It's a
next couple
really
weeks.
bad. No, no, not for like the next 6 months.
The New
Yeah.
Zealand market's not doing too bad.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm kind of banking on. Currently, we're slapping into a recession, and I really am only doing it for dividends. So as long as you have, X amount of dividends, you get Y amount of money. So I can sell them at any time, but the whole point is to generate a passive income. But also, once we get out of that recession,
If.
It's a great time to be in the stock market. Everything's on sale.
yeah. My
Pessimist.
partner just turned around with the biggest smile. Hi, honey.
Hello.
He's a fiend for money, so when he hears me talking about like stocks and stuff, he gets so excited.
Well, I think our stock dropped like 1,200 points yesterday, or day before yesterday. 1,250 maybe.
Okay, so the surprise is you guys have watched certain TV series and like they'll have their normal like opening montage sequence with like their music and like the cast list and all that. And then sometimes they'll just do what's called a cold open where it's just a scene. And then it goes into like the Game of Thrones, dun 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 dun, dun like that thing, but it's the cold open. So today we're gonna do like a cold open, and then we'll go into our normal stuff. And the cold open is for Anarissa. So you guys just get to see this or listen to it, but you don't actually, you don't. This is not information your characters know. But I just wanted you to be able to get her. It's for her backstory, really. Okay, Anarissa, you fall asleep, and you're floating in the air in a sort of out-of-body experience. You're in the woods, but it's not a familiar forest area. You vaguely see a small humanoid figure walking. Then you see a second figure also walking. They don't seem to be together, but they're walking in the same direction. Oop. Um, as your vision gets a little clearer, you see that the first figure looks like a human female child, and she looks lost. You look at the second figure, and you see that it looks like a familiar forest creature, except that it's walking upright on its hind legs. As you look closer, it resembles a rabbit, but it also looks lost. As you float in this ethereal feeling forest, your view zooms past these two creatures and moves ahead of them a few hundred yards. You see two more figures, and as you approach them, your heart starts beating faster and faster. You can't see their faces, but in your heart, something is telling you, this is your parents, and you wake up. The next night, the other two figures, the other two figures, yeah, those are parents. The next night, you have another dream. It's that same out of body sense, except you're in a tunnel. It's kind of dark. You see a man. His skin is pale blue. He's walking through the tunnel, and then he vanishes. The tunnel's dark and empty. Then all of a sudden, the blue man appears again. You see him run into a corner and hold his breath. But he's not trying to hide from anything. He has the hiccups, and it's amusing you. And then poof, he turns into a sheep. This also amuses you. Then the sheep, poof, turns into a potted plant. This is less amusing to you and a little disturbing. And then poof, he's back to the blue man. He keeps walking down the dark tunnel. You start to get that same feeling you had in the last dream, your heart beating faster. And you see a vague silhouette of two people in the distance. And you wake up in a sweat. The third night, you have another dream, same out-of-body experience feeling. You're in a strange tavern. There's a scent in the air that's heavy of fried fish and ale. The walls are made of stone with shelves filled with casks of liquid and candles. You notice that you're in an open room, 3 stories high, and you seem to be on the mezzanine level. This building has a second and third floor encompassing the main room with more tables and hallways. It's loud, very loud. You hear people playing music together at the far end of the room. It sounds like a high-pitched horn maybe and a lyre. There's a group of people at a table with cards, and they're mostly quiet with the occasional cheer or neigh. There are many loud conversations going on among the people here. There's a dark-skinned human woman sitting at a table alone. She's wearing white robes adorned with gold and filigree and matching gold jewelry. You notice a beautiful woman wearing garments that you only guess would reflect the status of a wealthy noble person from a big city. She's sipping a glass of wine. You've seen people like her in your travels, and they were always accompanied by servants and rode in fancy gilded carriages. She also has a mask over her eyes with holes cut so that she can see out of it. She's sitting at a table with 2 other figures, but you keep looking at her for the moment. There's something about her eyes you find intriguing, and you can't place why. The second person at her table is a skeleton, but it's not an inanimate like the ones you've seen in the abandoned villages that you've traveled through around the world. This one seems to be talking, and even drinking ale from a stein. You've had a few run-ins with undead types of creatures that were brought to life by some wayward mage, but this one is different. Not only does he seem to be accepted by the rest of the living people around him, his image shifts back and forth like magical runes that you've seen in caves and on cathedrals, aka a hologram. His form shifts from skeleton to human man, back and forth slowly in this sort of holographic way. But his eyes capture your attention. They're black, and the slightest bit of black smoke drifts from them. You lock onto his eyes, and while the rest of his image slowly shifts from man to skeleton and back, his eyes never change, and he looks at you. You are startled because you know this is a dream and he can't actually be looking at you. Can he? You avert your eyes back to the beautiful woman, and you now recognize the detail you had perceived before. Her eyes aren't human, though the rest of her clearly is. Her eyes are those of a snake. They don't seem malicious, and you're usually very good at reading people's intentions. The final figure at the table is a short, robust human male in his later years of life. He wears a beard and a very large handlebar mustache, with pronounced hooks on each end. He's scribbling in a large tome on the table. You can see that on the parchment in his tome there are both words and doodled drawings. In the middle of this enormous room, you notice a great brick structure. It looks like a water well, but maybe 10 times bigger. You find it curious that there's a giant well inside of such a building. As you approach the well, you get that same feeling again. Your heart is racing, and you place your hands on the edge of the bricks to steady yourself. And as you lean over the top of the well to peer down into it, its depth is vast and dark. You can't see the bottom. You're sweating now, and it's dripping into your eyes as you're leaned forward. Your eyes burn a little and start to become kind of blurred by the salty sweat running into them. As you wipe the sweat out of your eyes, you see other eyes staring back at you from the bottom of beyond this darkness. Your heart feels like it's going to burst. You don't see figures or faces, only eyes. Many, many sets of eyes staring at you from the darkness. You awake, and for a moment you can't see anything. But as you catch your breath, you start to get your vision back, and you see your surroundings, a little bit blurry, but they are as you remember them when you went to sleep. Ta-da! And with that, I will let, well, actually, we'll wait and we'll save her, like, introduction for when you guys actually meet her. So, but that was her metaphorical introduction, I guess, yeah. And that's the most amount of talking I'm going to do now.
I loved it.
So, somebody's going to be looking for you guys. That's the information she has. That's it. Now, the rest of you, do you guys want to start with your fun facts?
Sure.
Okay. Azif will do alphabetical.
Since I recently got a message from my master over the great sleep one night, I woke upon finding my eyes had changed shape and colors practically overnight. And looking in the mirror the next day, I found out that I was in fact better looking and more appealing to the other people around me. So I went to the bookstore, the local bookstore, to try to find new books that I could read. And I found these amazing books by Louis Lafmore, who told about great adventures out in the out west of Faerun, and had little women who wore these long dresses called pilgrims, and fought these savage Indians and other evil beings. But I found out later that the women inside these books, they had very strong feelings for the men. And sometimes, if you find the right book, men had very strong feelings for other men too. Such as I found one book called Brokeback Mountains. Very strange. Opened up a whole new avenue for me to think about.
So, the fun fact was that you got into a new form of literature?
Yes.
Okay.
It is written in a different language I could not read before.
The fun fact is that the doors on the hinges on his closet door need some oil.
That's awesome.
I have stopped Zora 6 times from taking my book. I do not know she reads it.
Can Zora read?
I don't know. She keeps trying to look at the pictures inside.
Because I don't know. Did Zora go to school or have a tutor or anything? It doesn't seem like that'd be in Zora's wheelhouse. Yeah? No? Zora?
I don't think you would know it if she couldn't. I think she would pretend like she
some
could, even if she
pictures
didn't know.
They had like some little illustrations on some of the inside.
It was very surprising. It was not about mountains at all.
That's funny. That actually kind of reminds me of the book that Jester was reading about Oscar. Was it Oscar or something like that? Yeah.
Tusk Love. Tusk Love was the name of the book.
Tusk Love.
Tusk Love. Yes.
It was good shit. I love how all of them picked up on that one.
I think they bring it back up in this season too. They kind of like reference
the
it. The
pirate captain is reading. I'm sure he has Tusk Love in his library.
No, I guess
not. Okay, Clash.
Okay. So I don't know if anybody remembers, but as Clash was raised by his human mother, and his drow father was absent most of his life, but he did actually. His mother would tell him a lot about him. He didn't really see him very much, and The reason that being is he was actually a bard, and he was on the road a lot and making his living by traveling and singing stuff like this. Well, he was what we'd equate to more of a one goes so far as to say like an emo, but if you kind of look in the uh, the genre of like the Smiths or um,
Like
the
The
Cure,
Cure. Yeah, I
that
was just
kind of that
thinking.
was his jam, So he was he was that kind of sad melancholy, but still the ladies liked him, because he had that kind of so this was a and so his he actually the first time he actually was able to see his father perform, he had snuck out and because he had heard his father was in town, and so he wanted to go see him, and he saw him. He didn't care so much for his kind of vibe was a little bit more his musical taste goes a little bit more high energy of being a youth and that kind of stuff. So he didn't really see the draw of his father's music, but he tried to make that connection because, like I said, he hadn't been around him a lot. So, but his tastes tend to be more towards what we would now think of more like metal, heavy metal. That's it's Clash's Clash's jam.
So
And that's
he's
his.
more goth then? I don't know.
Oh, that
Is
is
that
was his dad's kind of sort of like that. It's this kind of not completely, I wouldn't say, but it's in that kind of realm. He's found his and it's almost to the point where it's being an elf that he lived so long. It's almost like not a phase. It's kind of almost sad because he's not broken out of. He's found his little niche. He's kind of stuck to it because it worked for him in these small little venues, and he hasn't really like grown as an artist. He's the same kind of found his little thing and he's sticking to it town to town and finding it out and finding these little groupies that kind of follow, not follow him, but when he comes to the town, they troubled girls. So that's Clashes.
all right? So he inherited some stuff from his father, but not everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, Harriet.
Uh, um,
Has to get that polite Southern girl going.
oh no, I'm always ready for it, but never enough. Uh, Harriet tends to have in her big old floppy ears has lots of little holes all around it, like almost like hole punched almost, but a little bit smaller. And that's because she used to have a lot more decoration in her ears, but she had to sell them off to make money because she is young and not exactly well off. So after the whole incident with the fire and the burning, the decorations she had in her ears are now sold off. But she does plan on getting more and putting more back in her ears, so she's a giant ornament like she used to be.
Nice. Okay. So, Zora.
I I didn't hear a word she said. Was it maybe I gotta check my serve video. It's not coming through. Oh, I'm gonna click
Who
out for a minute. I didn't hear
who
anything she
Harriet?
said.
You didn't hear
Our,
Harriet?
our ears are church ears. They are very holy.
Yes. She had a lot of like piercings of like baubles and dangly cute things that she ornamentally put on.
Nice.
But I don't know. Do you have her muted? Like,
I don't know. It doesn't
I
look
hope
like it.
not. I feel
Uh,
sad.
I didn't even see the green popping up when she was talking. Let me click out and I'll click back in. Maybe that's it all.
yeah, that's probably it.
All right. Oh, I see it.
You do see her green now and her video and everything? Okay. Can you hear her? Okay, now we can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Oh, there you go. You were just
Okay.
not maybe pushing. I don't know.
Push, push, push.
Push it.
Real good.
Oh, I thought someone was going to make a. There we go. That's what I was waiting for.
What?
Push it real good.
Oh, salt and
Salt,
pepper. Not a
pepper.
birthing joke? Oh, okay. Zora, Zora, your turn.
Breathe. So Zora has a Harley J. Earl trophy for winning the first Daytona 500. I just ran with the whole Southern thing. So not only are Warforged people, but they're also making Warforged pets. So we're having like go-kart races on the backs of Warforged dogs. And it's sort of the equivalent for minors as go-karts. So Zora, being Zora, having a very good investigation and sleight of hand, got the governor off of her dog and won the race by like 3 laps. And in a 500 lap race, that's a pretty big deal. So I'm kind of famous if you head south far enough into Peru.
She's a Warforged dog racer. Like,
Yeah, and if you don't chew big rug, then fuck you.
So what would be the equivalent of the NASCAR?
I don't know. That was the only Ricky Bobby quote I knew.
Baskar. Baskar medal.
Not
Right.
first or last.
It actually was because they're dogs. It was called Too Fast, Too Furious.
Ooh.
Too fast, too furious. Understand. I went to a furious festival one time. It was not about dogs. Had a completely different meaning.
No.
The door's just swinging all over the place.
So we'll have Anarissa. I
Doggy
keep
door.
questioning myself if that's how I say it, but we'll have Anarissa start her fun facts next week because she can't have her like spoil herself too much. She'll give you everything you need to know once you guys are all together. Okay, so and here's the dog. So
Can I see her?
where? Yes. Okay.
I will ask every time.
Okay.
Oh yes, I love.
She knows she's on camera like that.
Oh, she absolutely does.
She's
I
so
know.
fancy. Aren't you
Like,
fancy?
where's my pet bed back here? I can lay here and watch
I
you.
know.
Yeah.
She's ridiculous.
She needs a big fuzzy bed.
She has 2 big fuzzy beds and a couch, like a dog couch. A dog couch. So she's slightly spoiled, for sure.
Slightly.
Her grocery bill is higher than ours.
I have no doubt. Considering she gets handmade dinners for her.
Jealous.
Yeah. Give me some kibbles and bits.
Yeah. Okay, so last time you guys were fighting some cultists. You were asked to go check it out and kind of take care of some evils that were brewing in a place right outside of town or right on the edge of town. And you came across this like ruin, like a little ruined tower building. And you came across the cultists, and they were trying to summon some terrible being, which they successfully did. Battle ensued. You guys, it was tough, but you made it. and so now you can take back proof of the menace being thwarted back to Patton. We'll say that you guys take it. What are you doing? Oh, okay, that's cute. You guys, you take it back to the temple, back to Patton. Your proof that did the task that was requested as the partial payment for Harriet's revival and restoration.
Essentially,
And
we closed the gate, didn't we? We kind of closed it. They were opening a gate. Was that kind of?
they were opening. Well, they were opening a gate for the evil magey guy that you guys
Okay.
fought, the BBEG. So
He was the bloody guy.
Right.
yeah, he was the blood guy. So that's squashed, and so you guys are debts paid, free and clear as far as that goes. What would you like to do?
I need a drink.
Is there any ice cream?
We have all that back at our, or we can find that on the way back to our inn. And I think we need to actually do a reconnaissance there anyways, and try to figure out how we're going to go forward now that we down our chef and brewer and all this kind of stuff. Have to do a makeover like we talked about. So it's a good idea to go get some food and drink.
I might be able to. I mean, I'm not great at it, but if given time, I might be able to make some berry mead. I know that was kind of popular back in my village. I never had it, but I know how to make it, kind of. I've seen them do it a bunch, so I could give it a shot.
Okay. Have a specialty sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah, they liked raspberries and blueberries and lemon for some reason. Could never understand lemon. It doesn't seem to go with honey, but a lot of sick people loved it. Then they had some peppermint mead. That one was really weird. In a couple others, I can't really remember right now. I was very young, like this big, so I'm not entirely certain. But again, I could try and figure something else out.
Well, we definitely have the place to try it. We should have. I don't know if our brewer took all her supplies with her, but at least there's a space there that we can get some more things and give it a shot.
Maybe I can just be your, what's the word?
Brewmaster?
No, the one where you're really good at doing the thinking, but not good at the
Savant?
doing. Yeah, that one sounds great. I can be a savant and just like tell people my ideas, like the slime jello, you know, the thing that goes that one. Don't look this way or else I'll just cry. So I have all the ideas, and I could just tell people what I think, and then they do them, and then it'll be really good because like there's the meat, and then there's the slime thing that dessert you can eat. I feel like I'm just a well of great ideas, but I'm not very good at doing things. I have big paws, so I can't really do anything.
Oh, I think that since the way that we are and we're not there all the time, we do need to have some people there steady to kind of keep some consistency on our place. So we're probably gonna have to hire. I don't even know if our musician was still there that we tried to hire the last time. Remember when we actually met you? There was our new entertainment, and I'm not sure if that's stuck or not. So maybe that'd be a good thing to go check and see if she's still around, or it would be interesting to find out. And why don't we head
Well,
back there? We can grab some food
I
on the way.
money. So if you want me to pay, I can help.
How long
Yeah.
has it been since we've been home? It seems like forever.
It was only a day, wasn't it, or two?
That was a
Day.
rough day, let me tell you.
Yeah, it was a long day. We did a
I
lot
feel
of
like,
stuff in that day.
yes. I mean, For instance, Harriet has been to hell and back. I mean, that's a rough
You
trip.
died. You died in
I
that
don't-
day. Well, there were a couple days in between there.
I remember floating in the sea of nothingness. I don't remember much of a hell, unless you
That
call
sounds
that
like
a
the
hell.
place my boss is from. A sea of nothingness.
It was very comforting, and I didn't mind staying there. It was like I could just be me, and nobody would bother me or make me angry. It was nice.
And there were carrots everywhere.
I didn't see any carrots, but I wasn't really concerned
I
about
think that
food.
she's thinking of a stew.
I mean, stews are nice. Can we get one of those?
We could do stew. I think we could actually do that at the and yeah, let's head back there. Let's get some. We can pick up some
Ice
stuff.
cream is a lot like stew.
We need some sweets for the young one here. Then we can pick up some real food for the rest of us.
I'm gonna
So
pick
as
up
y-
the little one.
So
I'm
you
gonna
guys,
carry her wedding style.
yeah, you guys walk. You were right outside of the field ward when you came back or when you were fighting in that ruined tower, and you had to go back to the halls of justice to the temple to bring your proof back to Patton and the other acolytes. So you're leaving from there, and Trollskull Alley and your manor there is not terribly far. It's maybe like a 5 to 10 minute walk. Is there anything you guys are doing on your way?
I want to find some fancy jewelry to fill one of my ear holes.
Ah, speaking of, I reach into my little glittery gold new bag that I just recently got, and I pull out 2 of the barred devil spines, and I hand them to our young Harriet friend and asked her if she would like to use them as plugs for her ear holes.
I'm sorry, what are you giving me?
2 spined devil spines, like spikes, about
Big are they?
so long that you could put
He
into it.
harvested them from the creature that you guys fought. They did harvesting after you left.
I see.
Oh yes, I forgot you kind of zoned out at the time. It was a rough day for you.
I was holding on by a brink. But that's okay. You guys weren't really that hurt. It was more me. So I was happy with that. Um, you want to give me some spines for my ear?
It's
Sure.
like I've seen them in like the punk rock guys.
I think it would look pretty
that's
cool.
interesting.
And being with your barbarian and you help defeat these things, you should. It actually is pretty apropos.
These spikes are made out of a real demon, unlike the fake ones that you get at Hot Topic.
That's
I
true.
don't know what that is either.
It's a store over by the Walmart.
I don't know
You have
what
to go
that
to the hot. You have to go to the hotter topic to get the authentic ones.
Am I missing something?
Or Jish and Zhong. They might have something like this.
I'll take your spines.
They do have a lot of interesting stuff, but yeah, they have spines. So, you guys could head down to Jish and Zhang.
You know what else might be cool,
The
Harriet?
Listen,
magic shop.
Don't
You
eat
weren't here
the
for that.
grass.
No.
Don't eat the grass.
If we ever come across something else with some cool claws, that might make some cool earrings as well. Some
Well,
little
I
hook
had
claws.
an idea already. See, you see, I really like stones. I think they're really pretty. I just wanted to get a quick idea. I didn't want to go and buy anything yet. So maybe we can wait. I mean, I don't have that much money, and what I want, I think, will be a lot. So maybe we can wait. I kind of just want to go back into that hole and go and murder more things to get more money. So,
That is a plan I think that we can all get behind.
I, are you? I think that'd be a great idea. We just go home, get some food, and then get a good sleep in, and then we go into that whole thing. Does that sound okay with everyone? I mean, I'm not a leader or anything, so I want to make sure it's okay.
I think there's
Zora, does that sound good to you? We have got to stock up on candy, though. She becomes very unruly without candy.
Of course.
I would like to also too look into those, and if we could stop by the constables and find out if we had any more information on those guys who attacked us at the bar. Would be more information.
But
See what
if you
that was
want,
all
I can
about.
go candy shopping with the little one, and you can go and discuss the other things, or maybe I can just find candy for her, just to stock up, you know?
Jelly beans and bear claws.
What in bear claws?
Jelly beans.
Jelly beans. Okay.
Yeah, that's her.
Isn't that
That's her.
something you did?
Huh?
I thought you made the jelly beans.
I did. But I've been busy. And I need something to make my cereal out of in the morning.
You make cereal out of pure sugar?
Yes. America.
How are you not? Okay. All right. You know what? Okay.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to tell her what to do. She's been on her own a long time, so we just kind of let her do what she wants most of the time.
When you take a good look at Zora, she is one of those kids who's like always a little bit dirty and always has like sticky bits on her face and like sticky bits on her hands and arms because she's constantly like eating pastries and candy and stuff like that. So like and you know like if you get like a sticky substance food substance on your skin and then like dust or dirt gets on it and then it starts to like look a little black brownish, like you could like kind of peel it up. That's how Zora sometimes presents herself because she's always kind of dirty. Yeah.
I do tend to bathe in sugar and the blood of my enemies.
That's concerning. I'm gonna go
we're
find
not.
candy and then also go find stuff to clean you because you're dirty and I love you and I don't want you sticking to my fur.
Finally, we have a better role model now. We're terrible role models. We just try to stop her from doing the really extreme stuff. Otherwise, we let her run free. So it's
But the sticky helps with my sticky fingers.
exactly.
I mean that's great. We can de-stick everything else first. Your fingers can be sticky, but if I'm gonna hug you and cuddle you at night, I don't want to be. I don't want to have to rip my hair out. You know, my fur is very soft.
I think I once saw Zora pickpocket by just putting her cheek on somebody's pocket one time and
That's
pulled
concerning. I'm just gonna go now. I'll be back with some candy and some cleaning things. Bye. I'm just gonna run off.
Yeah, she always has like little stuff stuck in her teeth, and there's kind of this like glossy yellow film on her teeth at most times. She doesn't have like it's not cracked or black or anything. It's just that little kid kind of like I don't brush my teeth dirty.
Diabetes.
You gotta get the beaties.
She got to roll a con saving throws tonight. All right. Well, that's my plan. I have run off now to go find candy, bear claws, and something to like just like maybe a pure alcohol, like 90% alcohol, to just wax on, wax off all of the.
Zora's holding an action.
She's
Holding an action.
Defend herself.
I am stealing that stuff the second I see her.
I think with the three of us, when we head back toward the inn and get some some food or something down and sit around, and we'll have to kind of put our heads together and figure out how we're gonna keep our inn running while we're not around. I don't think we really figure that out too well.
Okay, no problem. So on your way back from the Halls of Justice, we'll say that Harriet stops at the market because that would be like the easiest, fastest way for her to find all of the different things that she'd be looking for. There's an entire section of like food items and food vendors, and there's bakers that have pastries and chocolatiers and sugary beaties people. So that's where Harriet goes, and the rest of you start walking up the high road in the North Ward towards Skull Troll Alley. And when you get a little closer to Delzorin Street, which is like kind of right before you guys would veer off to go to Troll Skull Alley, you see a lot of people standing around, and like spectators, just neighbors coming out of their houses and businesses and stuff like that, coming out. It doesn't look like there's a lot of, it's not chaos, it's just a lot of like, what's happening, oh, what's going on, but you do kind of smell smoke. And you, Zora, specifically, you with your very high perception you notice that almost in the exact area, and you're a couple blocks away still, but almost in the exact area that you know to be Troll Skull Manor, it looks like there's smoke coming out of that area.
Oh shit! The bar's on fire.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear God, my books.
I guess we will sprint towards that. See what happened. What's going on?
Okay, so you guys start rushing down the street and over to Troll Skull Alley, and you see some of your familiar neighbors. And you get there, and there is a carriage that has the big water reservoir in the carriage, and you see a bunch of what would be medieval firefighters. I don't know all the terminology for medieval firefighters. Already outside, and they've got these like big bladder things of water, and they're trying hard. And you have neighbors out there even with buckets making lines. Bringing buckets up and trying to splash fire, and there is indeed a fire on the bottom floor of Troll Skull Manor. However, it looks like it's almost extinguished and is now mostly just smoke. And so they're just finishing off getting rid of the fire as you guys approach.
Quick, everybody, join the bucket brigade.
Yeah, I guess we'll hop in and help out.
Stop hopping, Clash. Run! Run!
Yeah, so you get in the line, and there it's just like a bunch of commoners doing their civil duty or civic duty to be helpful, and they're rushing water up inside of the bottom floor of the manor. And what looks like a city guard comes over, and he's talking basically to the group that's been helping, and he's like, all right, gentlemen, it looks like we've got this all cleared up. I think the fire's out. We're going to do a quick investigation and walk through, and we need to find the owners of this establishment. So you guys can go ahead and take all the equipment that you have, and please load it back up in the carriage that has the bladders in it, and some of our men will make sure that it gets put away properly so that we have this for, the next emergency. We thank you very much. And then he goes off and talks to another official looking person.
I'll kind of poke a Zeef and say, hey, talk to that guy, and then I'll try to slip into the bar real quick, take a look around and see if there's any kegs undamaged. If there is, I'd like to roll it out and actually offer it to all the people that helped put it out. try to make to thank them for doing what they did. So while he's talking to the guy, I go and just grab one and say, "Tell Benita, thanks for helping when we were away, and being in the effort." So that's what I'm going to do while he's talking to them.
Okay, when you walk inside, you see the same sort of, the layout hasn't changed, but everything on the bottom floor is like charred. It's not ash, it's just charred. And just a quick survey of like panning the room and the whole bottom floor, you see there's extensive damage, and you guys are going to need to do quite a bit of repairs before you're going to be able to open this again. However, there are... Actually, make a perception check for me. First roll of the night. You can do it with advantage because you know what you're looking for, and this is familiar territory to you.
Because I suck at perception. Ooh. 18. Did it go through?
There it is. It's slow. That's good. That's what you needed. Yes, you do find behind the bar, and it looks like maybe Liff had possibly like found some like canvas tarps and like threw it over one cask. And so it didn't get the charred the way that everything else did. And so you were able to find one cask of preserved ale.
All right, so I'll roll it out and tell those are bartenders named Lift. Kind of motion.
He's the spirit guy.
Yeah. I'll ask him to grab as many mugs as he can to bring it out to the front, and we can serve some of the people that help save it. Then as soon as they get it out there, I'll kind of get an announcement with them.
So you would know this from your experiences with Lift before. He can't leave the grounds. He can't leave the building.
But he can come. He can bring them to the front, and I'll grab them.
Yeah. He could go to like the porch.
Yeah, I'll have him collect all the mugs and just bring them to me, and I just want to roll it outside just to let everybody know, and then I'll grab the mugs from him, and then just start filling them for people that are kneeling around that helped out, and then I'm out. Kegs.
They're very, very happy with this, and a lot of the people in the crowd you're giving them like mugs of ale, and they're very like graciously taking them and drinking. And one gentleman in particular walks up and says, "This is the best ale I've ever had in my life. Who's your brewer? I've never tasted anything like this in all of Waterdeep."
Celine was an amazing brewer. She's unfortunately not here at the moment with us, but she did. This is her last keg that we have of her stuff, but we do have a few recipes left over. I think we're going to try to duplicate some stuff. I don't know if anybody's got enough talent for this, but she was quite the amazing brewer.
Well, if you can get her back, you should definitely try, because this is amazing. You should run it in some of our competitions that we have. They're friendly competitions in town, but this is award-winning stuff, potentially.
I'll let her know of your appreciation next time we speak with her.
Sorry, dog drama.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so Zeef, you're outside talking to people, or just...
So, Mr. Fire Marshal, I'm telling you, the hot for firemen posters, magazines, like we could do some kind of spread. I'm telling you, you guys could just like all get out there, and we could have a painting of you guys like by your fire trucks with your hoses in your hands, that kind of thing. I'm telling you, this stuff sells. Merchandising.
Are you Are you talking to one of the constables or just like
No, I'm
general?
talking to the fire marshal.
Oh, the fire guys. Yeah. Okay, got it.
He's trying to make a half fireman challenge.
You know,
And
I mean,
this... Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that there's a sergeant who walks up and he's like dressed formally. He's obviously City Watch, and he comes over and he's like, and he's got a little like pad of parchment paper, and he's writing with his quill notes and taking notes, and he says, "Are you the inhabitants of this dwelling, sir?"
Yes, Sergeant. I am one of the great purveyors of this pub.
Okay, yeah. Seems it's going through quite a few hands lately. It used to belong to Mr. Volo. Volo.
Yes. Yes.
Goodarm.
Yeah,
Yes.
Volotep. Yes, he was a great friend of mine.
Oh, okay. Well, because I remember meeting some of the other. There was a Mr. Patton and a Mr. Pog and a tiefling fellow. He was a Magistar. Albrecht. Are they a part of this establishment still, or is it just?
Yes,
just you?
they have
now?
left. They have passed on to greater pasture.
They sold it down to you then?
We became partners before these sales was actually needed.
Okay, he's writing all
still
of
had
this
a
down.
piece on the. They still have
Go
a
ahead.
piece on their paper, a piece of pie, but it is a
Oh.
smaller piece now that they have left.
Okay, all right. Well, I say this because it's kind of odd. This is the second big issue that's happened at this particular building. There was it was a strange occurrence. There was an explosion of sorts not too long ago, just a few weeks ago, and luckily, there.
That was in front of the pub, sir, not on the pub grounds.
Okay, so you are familiar with it then.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Because I don't believe I remember your face from that particular incident, but you do look familiar. I think I have seen you in.
Oh, yes, sir.
in
I was
this
part
area
of the
before.
crew that gathered the bodies from the front of the.
Oh, okay,
structure.
yes, right.
I am sure we have met around at different parties in literature
Probably.
readings.
Sure.
What
yeah,
did you say your name was, Sergeant something? Well, that sounds very familiar. I think I've seen it on my library book right here.
Saith Cromley.
Safe Crumb. Let me see.
Yes.
And I open up my copy of Brokeback Mountain, and I look through the back of it, and I find that the person who got it before me was Sergeant Crumley. And I say, sir, this is a very good book, but it is not what I thought it was. Really, I mean, do you know of anything else that's like this? I mean, I don't want to read it. I just want to know that I don't read it later. Yeah.
And he looks at you and looks at the book, and he says, "It doesn't ring any bells, but a lot of times my wife will use my name at the library when she checks out books, so that's probably my wife's book. Is it like one of those trashy romance novels? That
no,
seems like
sir.
something my wife would do.
It's about geography, I think. It has high peaks and low humps and stuff. It's about geography.
Right. Well, I appreciate your love of literature, but I need to get on with this investigation. And did you folks have any kind of enemies that would want, malicious intent against you?
Yes, sir. There was these 3 assholes who were here a couple of days ago, causing trouble in the bar, and we actually had to get physical and throw them out.
Really? And do you have identifying information on these 3 individuals? Or were there witnesses? I'd like
yes,
to be
sir.
able to
The bar was
question
very
them,
full
too.
that day.
Mm-hmm.
We actually had the well, I mean, you cannot talk to Leaf. You can, but he can just write back to you like on his board. And there was several other individuals who came out there. We just met Harriet that day. Harriet, why don't you come over here and speak to this nice sergeant?
I don't think she's
Not
back
fair.
yet.
No, I'm still in the middle of
The market.
the
Oh,
market.
sorry, sir. She's out buying candy for our young friend over here. This lovely child with the snotty nose and boogers coming across her lip. Yes, this is Zora. Her uncle is actually one of the co-founders of the place.
Oh, okay. And Miss Zora then, and he's like writing it down on his pad. Miss Zora, uncle. Who's your uncle? Bob.
Bob is the other uncle.
Patton, and
Bright Shield or something.
yeah, Patton, Brightfield, and
Pog
Pog.
Bright Shield.
Yes.
I have him in D&D Beyond still.
Sorry, sir. You've got to forget her. She has not had her Snickers today or her Bear Claws. She's very upset that all of her candy may be melted.
Actually, can I drive the fire truck?
Well, I think you might not reach the reins. Actually, it's a horse-drawn carriage fire truck.
Efficiency with vehicles.
Did you say you have proficiency in vehicles?
Land vehicles, yeah.
You have proficiency with land vehicles?
That's right.
These tools, land vehicles.
Why in the world does a 7-year-old have proficiency?
You
Or an 11-year-old? This is 11?
She used to race those box cars. Yeah.
Too fast, too furious, yo.
Oh, yeah, okay. That makes... Yep, there it
You ought to
is.
see her drift a couple Clydesdales like
back
around the
around.
corner.
Comes back around,
My
just like on the
goodness.
track. 100 times.
Okay. He just says, "Why don't you come by when we're not busy packing things up? And if you stop by the station, we can arrange something for you to take it out. We will need you to sign some waivers, and there is a small fee, for upkeep and maintenance on the horses. But yeah, we could definitely do that."
I throw a gold piece at him and sprint for the fire truck.
Oh, no.
It's being like, it's not guarded, but there are definitely people around it, surrounding it, because they're like putting all the buckets away and putting all of the water bladders away and all of that kind of thing. So, and I have Harriet and Zora as frozen on my screen. Oh man. Hang on. Well,
She's good on mine.
yeah.
I'm drawing a new Harriet.
Okay. Oh, I don't have them on here anymore. I'm so sorry. Patent, Bright Shield, and Pog Ledger. That's who they were. Ledger.
If I would have been out there by now while this conversation is going on, I would have grabbed a couple mugs and brought one over for Azif and for the guy that's doing the inspections, and hand them each one. And I'll say hi. My name's Clash. I'm one of the proprietors here, and just curious if you had any information of what happened. We just got back. We've been away dealing with some demons, a demon incursion for the who was it? What was the name of the church thing? I can't remember the name.
It was,
The Temple
well,
of Tyr.
Temple
yeah,
Tier, yeah.
Temple of Tyr.
And so to finding our place on fire, is there? You have any suspects or what happened?
Well, not as of yet, sir. We're still doing the investigation as it literally just happened, but we are going to question everyone in the streets. We're going to question all of the neighbors, see who saw what, and see if we can find out exactly what caused this. So we will be back to discuss this with you, but in the meantime, I'm going to have to insist that the place is currently uh, it's just unlivable. You're gonna have to maybe rent some inn rooms elsewhere until you can get the repairs done, and we can have our guild members sign off on a final inspection once all the repairs are done. So this is definitely back in its state of ruin. But
So
I
on
will
the
allow
flip,
you to go up and gather any unburned items that might remain.
Did it affect the second floor or no?
We did walk up the stairs. The stairs need some repair, so it's not safe to travel up and down a lot. Um, but it looks like the upstairs didn't have any fire damage, just some smoke damage. But we still aren't going to be able to allow anyone to reside here full time until you have all of the repairs done.
Understood. Hopefully, all this ale has a little bit of goodwill and will lubricate the tongues around here and get some information for some locals of what happened.
This is the best will we have. This is Celine's pride.
so on the way out the door, I'm going to look around. Can I tell what started the fire?
You not really. You're
I mean,
kind of
I can roll if it's higher than a 23.
This wouldn't really be an investigation check because you don't I don't you don't really know what you're looking for. You and you While she has a 23 passive investigation, she's not a forensics expert. so
Can I ask?
so
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a
yes.
question? No, this might make sense. If she could maybe tell where the fire looked like what's burned, because the other parts you said were smoke, so maybe the area where the fire started, maybe, or where it was most damage, perhaps that
Yeah,
would be something.
okay, I'll say that when Zora goes in and you do like a sweep, kind of like walk around the entire perimeter inside of the building, and you're like lifting up, bar stools that were semi burned and melted and whatever, and you're kind of like pushing debris around doing your investigation. As you get closer to the stairs that would lead up to like up above the second floor, the stairs to the second floor, and then also the stairs going down into the basement. Um, it looks like it. It looks like you. Not looks. You can smell a. Oh my god. What would.
You can smell God.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what would medieval gasoline be? It's like an
Oil.
Greek
oil. An
fire.
Like
oil.
kerosene.
Yeah, like a kerosene kind of smell that you are familiar, like everybody uses the kerosene. And it when it burns off, it has a sort of a different scent, but when it's fresh and it hasn't burned, it's like a different scent. And as you're walking up the stairs at the very, very top, you can smell that sort of kerosene smell, but then it stops. As you're walking down like the hallway on the second floor, there's no kerosene smell. So you get down on the floor and you're kind of like crawling around kind of like a puppy, like sniffing the floor, and you notice there's no kerosene smell until you get to the very, very top of the stairs, and you think that maybe this was done purposefully and someone came in here and poured kerosene with the intention of like hoping that the fire would spread up and down at the same time, kind of conserving, like whoever did it didn't have a lot of means to explode, like they didn't have the ability to explode your building, or they didn't have the ability to, so it was, you deduce that this is This is almost like a budget
Obviously, some
fire.
amateur.
Yeah, this is like a budget fire type arson.
I think we're gonna have to hire when we get this place redone, a permanent bouncer or two. Somebody eye on them. What about my dog, Lola? Forgot about her.
Can I find some chalk?
Lola was outside.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you find some chalk?
Or charcoal? I guess I can find plenty of charcoal.
There's plenty of charcoal, yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask Lip if he saw anything and hand him the chalk and his chalkboard.
Well, the chalkboard is burnt up because it was on the bottom floor.
It's a chalkboard. It doesn't burn.
Right on the wood, on the charcoal wood.
I'll clear a spot off on the bar. He can write on that.
Okay. Well, the bar is charred as well.
It's easy to write right on the charred bar.
Bring in a white shirt that I use for a nightgown and hang it up over a piece of wood.
So you guys are asking Liff if he can give you information if he saw anything. Let me see what Liff would say. He at this time. Oh, shoot! I just closed the wrong tab. At this time, Harriet, you, having been to the market and gathered all of the things all of the beaties for Zora, you make your way back up to the manor, and you see the commotion, and you see all the people in the streets, and then you spot Clash and Azif and Zora all. Well, actually, who went inside first?
Probably Zora. Oh,
Yeah,
Zora's investigating. Okay.
Always running around.
Yeah. So you see, you don't see Zora because she's inside, but you do see Azif outside talking to the sergeant, and Azif's like adamantly, like, he's got this book in his hand and he's like shaking it, and he's talking to the sergeant, and he looks so excited and happy. And then that's when you walk up to the front of the manor.
Okay.
pour her a ale and hand it to her.
But you
as well.
also see like a little bit of residual smoke coming out of the manor, and then there's this fire carriage next to it.
I'm just gonna stare up at the burnt down or the extremely burnt bar and go, well then.
Harriet,
Okay.
we didn't start the fire. It was always burning since we got here.
Okay.
And the sergeant looks at you, Azif, and he like writes that down, and he's like, always burning.
Yes, we keep a candle at the bar for the ghost to remember his life by.
Good thing we don't have insurance.
I'm going to turn around.
You shouldn't have those magic fire extinguishers.
And I'm gonna go walk somewhere else.
See if you
breakfast
can
beer.
find an open pub somewhere.
Or Harriet, how about
I'm gonna go to what's his face at the hole, and I'm gonna try not to be angry, because that makes me angry.
Harriet, have a breakfast beer. A breakfast beer.
I don't want beer. I want revenge. And
It's delicious.
I don't care.
It's
I don't
delicious.
care. Nope, I see that, and
Just smell it. Smell it. Come on, Harriet.
And I'm gonna walk to Durnan's.
Hey,
Immediately, I'm gone. Goodbye.
Harriet, I've got you up all the way and I still can barely hear you. Can you turn that up a little bit?
I mean, I can get this a little closer. Hold on.
That's better.
Oh,
That's way better. Wow. Yeah.
Hi. Sorry. I've got a microphone on the arm. So yeah. Here we go. Let's see. Let's check. Whoop. Is that
Some
better?
people wear their hearts on the sleeve. You wear a microphone on your arm.
Awesome. So I am going to I'm going to walk to Durnan's after seeing yet another place that I refer to as home burn. So I'm angry. I'm going to Durnan's. Goodbye.
Say hi to Bonnie for me.
Anybody wants to come can come with, but I'm leaving now.
I'm gonna
I'd
steal
like
this
to at
stuff.
least try to
You don't
ask
know
around
which
a
pocket
little
I
bit,
kept it in.
some of the neighbors, and see if anybody saw anything, and inquire just to try to find out. And I wasn't there when Azif was talking, so I'll mention to the sergeant about those ones, the guys that came in, and basically repeating what Azif said. But then I'll at least also mention too that they are currently in custody. We sent them into the. I don't know if it was them or they had somebody do it, but when we left them, it was a day or two ago, or a couple days ago, 3 or 4. They were
In
current. They
charge
were,
with the constables.
yeah.
There was a blonde-haired dick, and
But
there
they
was a
seem to be a
couple of the
gang.
squad.
Seem to be a gang or something. I'm not quite sure. I wanted to inquire more about that too. So just put them on your suspect list.
So did I get any information out of Lyft?
Oh, right. Yes. He writes. He just. So he's gonna write the letters E, F, and then he's gonna like draw a picture of a beer mug, and that's the information that he gives you.
What you got there, Zora?
Wait,
What you doing?
what were you say? Wait, we'll go back to that. What did you Azif? What were you doing? Azif.
I was talking adamantly about buying the new book coming out called 50 Shades of Red.
Okay. Okay, and then
It was about art, I think. I'm not sure. Tells you how to use background colors and stuff. 50 Shades of Rouge.
Rouge.
Before I
Got it.
leave,
Mhm.
would I be able to find some form of like tapestry that would have been inside the bar? Like a curtain or something that wasn't completely burnt up?
Yeah, up in the bottom floor, like the ground floor, there was an area that the wizard had used. It was kind of like an enclosed area off. Sometimes the bard used it as their stage, and then sometimes they had set a table up for tarot card reading. And when they had the tarot card reading, he had these really cool tapestry curtain things up around that little cove,
Okay.
and mostly burned. But there are bits and pieces. Like, how big of a piece are you looking for?
I want to tie it around my waist and specifically have the burnt bits on the bottom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like what kind of color would you say it would be? Like a purpley color?
I would say that the wizard was very proper and also extremely fancy. Like, you didn't get to meet him, but he was so extra
Okay, perfect. Okay.
in his
Highfalutin.
yeah, highfalutin. So it's extremely good quality. Like, he wouldn't be caught dead in something that was a Gucci kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And so
So
it's
it's like purple
really,
velvet with gold tassels,
yeah.
but there's a spot in it
No,
to keep his white claw.
no, it is like a crushed purple velvet, but it has like really bright colored, intricate embroidery, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Okay, cool. Because I'm gonna draw it.
Albrecht is going
Cool.
to be
So I'm
very
gonna tie
upset.
that around my waist, pull it, and I'm sprinting to Durnan's. Goodbye.
No, Albrecht wouldn't be upset at all. He'd be like, that was last season anyway. I was going to replace those. He would not be upset.
Unless his mom bought it for him, because he is a mama's boy.
Yeah, but she would just buy him new ones anyway.
Oh, that's true.
I will go to
Because-
my room and load up everything I can inside my hat possible.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how much everything weighs, and I think there's a weight limit on the hat, so
Yeah,
we'll
like
just
500 pounds.
you can decide like how many pounds of stuff you're bringing ambiguously is fine.
I don't have that much here. A lot of my stuff is still in my crypt back at home,
Right.
back in the tunnels.
So
Apparently,
as
the only person we had watching out for our bar was Invisible Bartender.
We
over
did
the
pay
ghost-
money to the bard to watch it, I thought.
He did, and that's why I was kind of curious if she's around or anybody saw her. I'll also ask. I'm asking around.
Was somebody sloshed some kerosene around the stairs and lit it on fire, and Lip says it was this person. And I hold up can't hold it up. What did you bring in?
E.F. Bierstein.
Yes.
Oh, maybe it's another bar. Was there some kind of jealousy? Yeah, we can find out maybe if there's another pub. I'll ask the
Maybe
guy.
he was saying it was the F in alcohol.
Is there another establishment around here? This may be a clue.
Do we know
any other?
anything that starts with EF?
are you guys all in the house right now? Because I feel like Harriet was leaving. She was very
Yes, I ran away
adamantly-
already.
Okay.
She ran off.
I told
Okay.
them I was going to go to the bar, at least, Darnan's.
Okay.
Burns.
Okay, so separately, as you're leaving Harriet, you're walking down, I think it's Delazin Street or the next street over. I gotta look at the map, but you're exiting, going to the high road, the main road in the North Ward, and you walk a few buildings down. You're almost at the end of the block, and you see another establishment, and there's a gentleman there sitting outside, like kind of on, like they have like rocking chairs, kind of like what's that southern restaurant everybody goes to that has
Cracker
rocking
Barrel.
chairs? Thank you. It's
Yes.
like a cracker. It's like a big
Cracker
wrap around porch with like rocking chairs and stuff, and there's like spittoons for the people who have the chew their tobacco and whatnot
Backy.
and drink their ale. And there are a few patrons out there, but you see a big sign that says Grand Reopening, Froon's Brews.
Oh, Froon. I have been told about this place before. Oh, I'm not there with her, am I?
No, I went alone.
No,
Because nobody said they were
she
coming with
is
me.
Alone. And
I did try to steal the stove.
You don't know what pockets it's in, though. I have many pockets.
She has so many pockets. You'd have to know which one it was to be able to really do that.
I mean, you can certainly try and pickpocket something out of one of the pockets.
Be careful, that is not a carrot.
Yes, and there's a little bard. He's probably like a teenage boy, human, and he's out in the front, and he's got his little like guitar, and he's strumming away, and he's singing, and he says, "Oh, beautiful, beautiful." God, what is
Haven.
rabbit people?
Oh.
They're called what are the people called?
Herringons.
Herringons. And he says, "Beautiful Herringon, why don't you come have a lovely ale with me?" And he's like trying to like serenade you to get you into the bar, but you are looking pissed. And he's never seen
I'm rage
a pissed,
running.
Yeah, he's never seen a pissed barbarian or a pissed Herringon before, and so he's like, "Oh, have a lovely day."
I'm gonna stare him
down. Okay. How about
You're
you,
a very
sir?
angry rabbit.
Yeah. And he goes on to the next person walking by, and he's like, "Hello, Mr. Brown Eyes," and then like continues to like serenade the next person, trying to get people to come in.
Bald.
I'm gonna throw a rock at him, and I'm gonna keep running.
Make an attack roll. No, I'm kidding.
Can I throw it specifically at his instrument?
You can try. Make a
Okay.
ranged attack.
Okay.
Second roll of the night.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna roll a d20 plus something, I guess. D20. 19.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know what plus, but a 19.
Do you have a ranged
Dex
attack?
in yours.
Yeah, Dex. Yeah, it would be Dex.
So in that case, it becomes a 21.
You definitely
And your base
hit that.
attack motherfucker.
You hit that guitar like right where the neck, where his fingers are on the neck, and it kind of like smashes his finger against the strings, but the strings all go bring and like bust immediately, and he's like, ah, ah.
I'm
And
gone
he
already.
runs back.
It was a drive-by.
And he's like nervously looking around, like, who saw that? And he kind of is embarrassed that it happened, but he also knows like something fishy happened. Somebody threw something at me, but he's also was in the mid song when that happened, so now he's kind of like looking around, like, and he kind of just like takes the guitar and like sticks it behind him to like hide it, and he just continues to like serenade a cappella people as they walk by, and yeah.
Starts singing Teardrops on my guitar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. I annoyed
So then-
him. That's all I cared about.
So Harriet makes it down to the yawning portal, and of course Durnan is there as you walk in. And what you doing down there?
Darnin. That got weird. Anyways, I lost my composure for a minute. Darnin, darling, sweetie, can I please have?
Listen, I'm not going to give you anything for free. I don't know what you're trying to do.
I don't want it. I just.
Right? Okay.
I'm trying to breathe. I'm trying not to get angry. I'm failing really bad at it. Can you give me something extremely strong? I don't care if it knocks me out. I would kind of prefer it at this point.
She just needs a pound of wine.
That's well, you know, I've got some strong stuff, but again, the last time I gave people that you were with anything, that little girl passed right out. So got to be careful with what I give you people.
I mean, that's fair, but I am.
Yeah, I do. I got some
adult.
stuff. Let me get it. And he goes in the back and he comes out and he's got a mega pint of wine.
Good enough. All right, Darnan.
This is Elvish. It's kind of expensive, but
It's fine. I'll
I'll give you
it.
the first. I'll give you the first glass for half price, and if you're still awake, then and you can tolerate a second glass, we'll see.
That's
about
fine.
it.
I appreciate it. Now, do you happen to have some rooms that we can purchase for the foreseeable future? For a couple weeks?
Yeah. Just get with Bonnie. She's out serving, and you look over and you see Bonnie at a table with a girl. Montana, are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was hoping for.
So, Montana's sitting.
Oh, no.
I mean, you see. Tell everybody what Harriet sees when she looks over at the waitress and the table sitting, and you are sitting there. What does she see?
Like, what am I doing right now?
Like, well, describe what you look like, and then you can describe what you're doing. You're ordering from a waitress.
So I'm a tall woman with white hair and very blue eyes, and I have this like dark green and brown outfit on, and next to me is this bow and arrow with two different colors. And then there's like a cloak next to it as well, kind of like folded up. Sorry.
A what connected to it?
A cloak, it's like folded up.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I have a book open on the table and I'm ordering a drink from the waitress.
I will kindly, with my very big mug that I have, but I'm holding like this, I will stomp over to Bonnie and the strange woman.
Okay, and explain to the strange woman what she sees when you walk up.
So I am about 5'2", and a lot of fluff. I have a dark grayish black coat. The main section is that dark color, but I have on the very front of my face is like this whitish gray color that it just blotches the top front of my face. I have a little pink nose, and extremely large, cartoony large ears. They like super floppy. They go down to my like a little bit past my knee. They almost start dragging on the floor with how large they are, and because of that, like they somehow still maintain like a little bit of lift. They don't completely drag down my face, so I'm not like basset hound sort of thing. I've got like a yellow like goldy cloak. Underneath that cloak is like raggedy looking commoner clothing, like I'm a hobo that came off the street. I've got wrappings on my leg and my arms. Like on my pants, like they're like brown baggy pants, but they have a lot of patches on it that look like quilts or tapestries or like little bits and pieces that are very beautiful and intricate, just got patched onto some form of hole, so it covers it, and there's a bunch of patches, but those holes or those patches count as pockets. So they have like a lot of stuff stuck in every bit and piece. I have this massive glaive that is has like bits of jade on it and other fancy little bits, and it has like a fun little tassel on it. And around my waist is now a like bright, uncharacteristically velvety, like fancy thing, but the bottom of it is now burnt and singed. I like my glaive is in the pit of my elbow, and I've got like I'm holding a glass like this. My ambery eyes are like staring down Bonnie, technically up Bonnie because I'm very small, and looking at her like, "Hi, dear. Sorry to bother you, Bonnie. I need a room, please, or several."
Oh, dear. Okay. No problem. Yeah. Let me just finish this young lady's order, and
I'm gonna
I'll
sit
go
next to her.
I'll go
and
fetch a
stare
room
at her.
for you.
Okay, thanks. Great. I need like at least 3. Thanks. Hi.
3 rooms.
I don't know
Okay.
you. I'll reach out one of my big paws.
I reach
I
out my
have very-
hand and shake her paw.
I have very bright pink beans, and they're very soft to the touch. Hello.
Don't let them fool you. They're murder beans.
I'm very particular about my beans. Please be gentle with them.
I do a light handshake.
It's nice to meet you. My name is Harriet. I'm sorry for interrupting. You're very pretty and tall. Where did you get the tallness from?
Thank you. I'm not exactly sure where my tallness comes from. I'm trying to learn that myself here.
I don't What do you mean you're trying to learn where your tallness came from?
It's a long story, but I'm just trying to find my family and who I came from and where. Just sort of an adventure.
Oh, that's so sweet. My family burnt to a crisp.
So that's good.
Oh. She just gives her like a sad look.
I'm sorry, what did you say your name was?
I'm Inarissa, but you can call me Arissa for short.
That's good. I'll
What's your
probably
name?
forget. Hi, Rissa. My name is Harriet Lottie Buttons. You can call me whatever you want. I'm very angry right now, so can I have a hug?
She just gives her like a slight hug.
Okay, that's better. I just came from the worst thing possible. We own a bar down the road somewhere, a little bit further on, and it burnt, and now I'm really angry. So I just hi. I'm sorry. I've made this all about me.
No, it's okay. I'm so sorry that it burned down.
Listen, me and my compatriots, we're going to be going down into that hole. Are you much of a fighter? Do you want to help us?
I would love to help. Which hole are you looking into going to?
That one. And I point to the hole that is in the center of the room.
Well, funnily enough, I was going to go down that hole myself.
Excellent. We could always use more help. And that bow looks very competent, and I think the young lady would love to see someone else wield a bow. She has an addiction with sweets, so maybe somebody with a more steady aim would be able to be a good influence on her.
There's way too many puns going on right now. I can't stop. You're wearing a crushed. You're wearing a crushed velvet belt. You're literally the Velveteen Rabbit, and you just asked her if she wanted to go down the rabbit hole with you.
I need a pocket watch.
Right.
And relate.
So well, that's good to hear. They might be here soon because we kind of don't have anywhere else to live right now, as our house burnt. It was more than a bar; it was our house as well. So they'll probably be here soon, and I can introduce you, Rissa, and we'll have a lot of fun murdering things down in that hole, because I really need to murder right now, or else I'm gonna lose it.
And as you guys are having this conversation, Bonnie comes back. She walks back up, and she has a plate of food that Rissa had ordered, and she sets it down nicely in front of you, Rissa, and she said, "There you go, honey." Oh, that's the wrong accent.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. She goes,
I went Scottish when I did Durnan, because that's what I used for him.
I used the New York accent, and then for Bonnie, she just seems like she's Scottish. So she says, there you go, honey. And yes, darling, we do have some rooms available that you can have. Will they be extended stay, or are you planning on going back down into the portal?
We certainly are going back down, but it's probably going to be extended. Our bar sort of burnt a lot. Somebody
dear, that's terrible.
It was. So I don't know how much it costs. I have gold on me, so just let me know how much it costs and I can pay for it. I kind of feel like it was my fault. I attract people that like fire, and they tend to burn more things down, so I feel like it's my fault. How much would it be?
For the night, or just each room?
For about a week. Starting off.
Let's see. Let me talk to Durnan and see if we can get you a bulk discount of sort.
Okay, that would be lovely. And I'm just going to take my cup and just start chugging the elven wine. My little nose is getting like little droplets of wine on it.
So it's turning like a dark, deep red.
It's certainly getting stained.
It used to be pink, and now it's like almost turning like a purple color.
Yeah. It's getting stained by the wine. because it's just going all in.
Yes. So,
Let your whole
well,
mouth be stained like you were just like
It's getting there,
shoving
but
of blood.
because this part's dark, maybe I get like a little bit of a dark mustache. Who knows?
you get like a almost like, because you're chugging it and a little bit of it's dripping on the sides of your face.
Yeah,
So you're
give a
getting
little
like
smile.
like a little like Joker smile on your
Love
fur.
it. Oh, baby, give many kisses. She's a princess.
So we'll cut scene back over to you guys.
I've
who
acquired
just-
in Montana.
You just finished. Yeah, you guys just finished going through the upstairs and finding all of the bits and bobs of stuff that you guys wanted to collect. And Zora did her investigation, figured out the kerosene situation, and now are you headed out? Are you guys like?
Yeah.
What's your plan?
I think I would say, well, I'd like to investigate this further, but it looks like our furry friend took off in quite a huff. Maybe we should find out, intervene maybe before she gets herself into more trouble. We could maybe, delve into what happened here a little bit later. We do have a clue, so maybe we could ask around and see if we know any taverns or bars by that name or that with those initials. FB, right? FB.
EF.
EF.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do we know where she went to?
She had told you guys that where she was going, that she was headed back down to the yawning portal.
Yeah, she said she was going to Durnan's. Yeah, so we could head there.
I knew that, but does Zeke knew that? He was asking the other fellows. And
yeah,
lady.
no, when she was standing outside with you guys and she took off, before she took off, she did say, like, I'm going to Durnan's. Because she was very, like, she had a little bit of PTSD from seeing the fire.
I just have one question for, like, if anybody that would, before we were taken off, did actually see or know anything about our new hire, were they a halfling? A halfling, right? The one that
it was a halfling girl, Bard.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I can't remember her
that
name
was
either.
months and months ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I just kind of
Sorry.
ask around just after her and see if anybody has seen her or anything. So just kind of a little concerned because we kind of left her in a lurch. It was kind of it was a rough hire the way it happened, but he seemed nice enough, so I just a little bit
I
concerned.
wasn't sure if you guys had kept her or not, because when there was the brawl and you guys had instructed her to do something and she didn't do it because she was kind of like stunned by all of the chaos, and like somebody nearly died in that situation too, I feel like.
No, he actually died.
Did.
Steve actually died. That's right. Oh god, hang on. They're fighting.
Suppose.
Oh no, he's not fighting. He's barking at a neighbor. Yeah. So I think because of the bar fight, I think she like peaced out. I think she was like,
all right, cool.
This is probably too much excitement for like the kind of thing I'm looking for. I think that's what happened. I think she was like, I don't think this bar is for me. Thanks anyway, guys.
All right, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess we'll gather our stuff and head down to Durnan's.
Does EF in a goblet mean anything to anyone?
I have been to a bar that was out before the Dancing Bears. I've been there a couple of times with my goblin compadres called Froon's Brews. It is a crappy place down the road. If I remember right, it had some kind of issue and had to shut down several months ago.
We're looking for EF, right?
EF, like Echo Foxtrot?
Ever flowing?
I believe that the guy Froon, I think that Effie or something is his first name. If I remember, it's a very bad place. The swill that they serve is disgusting. There is like cockroaches on the bar. The goblin friends that I hang with, they don't really mind it that much, but I don't really like the place, to be honest.
Maybe we should go get situated first, and then we can maybe inquire more about this, do a little bit of research. But like to get Lola someplace safe too. So take
Yeah,
her
and the
with her.
sergeant did tell you guys that the City Watch was collecting as much evidence as they could. They were going to go ahead and they were going to interview everybody, all of the witnesses. All of that's going to take time, and you guys, he kind of made that clear to you in your discussion that like it's going to be a few days before we can, but we'll come back to you guys and with the information and see if it raises any flags for you guys, because the only thing that you gave him to go off of was the little bar brawl that happened with the three drow. Was it
Right.
no, the three drow were
Oh,
in there, but they weren't part
not
of it.
Drow.
That's right.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
it was the
They were
Plinkin.
checking
Yeah,
in on their drow friend.
Mhm. Yeah, they were checking in on you because you were a drow, but they weren't causing the problems.
correct. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would like to go and talk to somebody that I know. I will meet you guys over at Durnan's bar, the Yawning Portal, sometime this
Okay.
afternoon or this evening.
Okay. Come along, Zora. Let's go down to the bar. We'll get you something tasty.
So
Yeah, I
I
think
want to.
Zora was inside investigating when Harriet walked up. Harriet still has all the treats and hadn't even seen Zora. So like
Right.
she came back with like a armful of like all these like pastries and cookies and candies and
And
things
ran.
and then was like ah! and left.
Oh,
And
what
so
a sweetheart. Then
Zora was like expecting her treats and now she's like, "Wait, I thought she was picking up some snacks for me."
I would have seen her when she came back with that, so and then ran off. So I'd tell Zora the treats are at Durnan, so let's head
Yeah,
over there.
you can entice her with that. And she's always happy to go down because she wants to get back in the yawning portal into
Yeah,
the
of
hole
course.
anyway.
Steal beer from Durnan. Drinks.
So Clash and Zora, you guys are heading down to the yawning portal, and Azif, where are you going?
Azif is going to go back to his place in the graveyard for the poor and go down into my tomb where I normally resided before I moved into the Dancing Bears establishment. And I'm going to go speak to my compadres, the goblins, and find Via. He is the head goblin and friend of mine who kind of runs the goblin crew. And I want to explain to him the different things that we saw in Smelt with the kerosene and see if he can like put his feelers out inside the town and see if he can find in the underworld maybe uh, chit chat that does not get to the constabulancy.
Okay, okay. All right, that's noted. And
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing with the gutter rats in town. My thieves can't be like, "Yo, who burned down our building?"
oh,
Yo.
as you and Clash are headed, and because you see little kids, kind of, you don't see them so much in the North Ward or the Castle Ward where you guys are in the northern area, because that's more like the rich, fancy area. You do see little messenger kids who are paid to be like, little post delivery messengers. That you would be somewhat familiar with, Zora. And as you travel farther south, closer to the yawning portal, you see more of your riffraff kids out selling oranges on the street or out selling like their little baubles and stuff. And
Like,
so,
acting like they're selling stuff, but actually lifting people's pouches.
yeah, yeah. And
Send them the hand
you
signals.
yeah, you definitely see them and you give them little hand signals and they give you little hand signals back and basically you glean that like nobody saw anything um overtly suspicious um that you that they could recall. It If it happened at night, which they're not sure, they didn't see anything at night, and that's when usually the kids' eyes are out. And during the day they're more focused on their sleight of hands. In At night, they
So I'll
do.
throw out the whole like EF question mark.
Oh, okay. Um, you get a reply back from one kid who says, EF. What exactly are you asking?
A person with those initials, I guess. I don't know. E.F. Stein is the only information I have. Anyone know anything?
Okay, a little more information. EF and Stein, and one of the kids says, oh crap, where'd it go? Okay, I lost it. Sorry. Yep. One of the kids signs you back. Uh, really trash ale at Froon's Brews, owned by Emic Froon in the North Ward. I think it's in the North Ward. Yeah.
I check on Clash. Emmett Frood owns Brews. That's what Luke was trying to tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you tell that to me?
Yeah, you're the only one with me.
Oh yeah, because I have a terrible perception, so I would have had no idea what you were doing or what's going on. So I'd be like, how did you figure that out?
Googled that shit.
Oh, nice. I don't know what that means, but great. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little visit to them. What is it, Emmett?
Yeah, Emmett
Emic
Emic.
Froon.
We're gonna have to make a little visit to Emic Froon a little later and maybe find out what he has, if he had something to do with this.
Mm-hmm. So you guys get that information. You're probably halfway to the Yawning Portal when you get that information, and you know that Azif is meeting you guys at the Yawning Portal, and that Harriet's already down there. So, do you want to continue going down there, or are you doing anything else?
Yeah, I think we should. I would tell Zora, let's continue on, and get the group back together, and give them the information, and we try to figure out a plan what we're gonna do with this information. But we should
Okay.
probably meet up with the group. And I know you're hungry. Where there's lots of sweets there. It had sweets.
Yeah. Can we stop by and see Uncle Popo and tell him that Emmett burned down our bar?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Uncle Popo's not there.
No, but Uncle
Patton is. Patton's
Patton.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
And
good idea.
he knows all the Popo.
Yes. So you want to go? So you're So you have to turn around to go back up to the Halls of Justice. Are you guys turning around and going back up?
Wait, this way.
Even though he just taunted you with like baskets full of pastries and candy?
I will lift some on the way there.
Oh, I meant Harriet has them at the Yawning Portal, which is where you want to be.
She's stealing some on the way there just to tide her over.
Yeah. We can always send him a
We go to the
message.
Yawning Portal first.
We can always send him a message and then drop back in when we're on before we head up and drop in a little visit to Emic's place.
Isn't it like 3 blocks that way? We're gonna send him a letter.
Well,
Emic is actually so the Froon's Brews is on the same block as you guys. Is like right, in your neighborhood.
I was talking about the Calls of Justice.
No, here, I'll put you back on the map. I'll show you guys where you're at. You guys are, I don't know, scroll out, I guess. Troll Skull Alley's over here. Right here. And then Froon's Brews. Oh, you have to I have to like twist it. Froon's Brews was on Cerodune Street, I think. It's in this whole like block area, like right here, like in this sort of neighborhood. You
We
guys had gotten basically like, gosh, past the market when you got the information because you had to have gotten down to the trade wards. So you guys are.
mm,
Do you see how it turns a different color to show you like this is this is kind of like the top of the trade ward, and then right here would be still part of the north ward. They like color coded it for you. Um, and the halls of justice where Patton is over here.
right.
So you guys would have been right here and had to like backtrack and go up and
Oh,
across the market.
I would say that we could always on our way back up. We could go and hit his place, let him know because
Okay.
we're definitely heading back north to deal with or get find out some information about this guy. So we could head by. That's what I would suggest if she's okay with that.
Fine.
Okay. So I'm lost. Are you guys? You're not
We're
turning
going
around
to
to go
Durnans.
see? You are
We're
going
going
to
to
the awning
Durnans.
portal. Okay, that is down here. That's right here. Okay.
Where we're going.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Very well. You guys arrive at the yawning portal, and you walk in, and all the same familiar faces that you're used to seeing. Bonnie and Durnan, and Harriet is sitting at a table with this pretty young girl who has white hair and blue eyes and a very, very big and brightly colored bow, multicolored bow. And Harriet, as you walk in, specifically you, Zora, notice that Harriet has a big like Joker smile stain of like this dark purple on her face. And she's just talking away, like telling her life story.
I am definitely going to find the soap.
Got and a big pile of sweets on the table in front of her.
As soon as I get done eating that.
So you guys go over. Do you sit down with them?
Yes, yeah, yes. Order
Okay.
order drinks if whenever the waitress comes by. But yeah, I'll go straight to the table to see how Harriet's doing and want
Okay.
us to describe our characters.
Oh yeah. Hang on. Let me see. Uh, uh,
Montana.
So, two more people show up at the bar and they sit down with Rissa and Harriet, and I'm gonna let them describe themselves. Zora, what does Rissa see when you walk in?
I am a grungy 11-year-old girl with black hair, green eyes, 5 feet tall, and I like a cross between Arya Stark and Dominique Luciano, which is an Olympic reference from 2000 or something. But I just look like I've always had too much sugar. I can't sit still. Um, but for my age, look extraordinarily athletic. Um, and I'm always watching everything in every direction at one time. And my hair is just kind of a mess. And I'm wearing really big, thick glasses.
And Clash, what does she see when you walk in?
Okay, so first of all, you notice it's kind of extreme. It has like a slender built um, male half elf with vibrant blue skin. He's got white hair like a drow would have. It's cut kind of long and to the chin in front. A little bit shorter. The back kind of slings down. He's dressed pretty well actually. He's got like a purple light purple pants, like a pearl white shirt with this one of those black like a jacket with blue piping on it. That's kind of like a little small, that kind of fashiony. He's got like a kerchief tied around his neck. He's got a gold hoop earring in his left ear, and a copper one in the top of his right, and a silver one in the lower right, and a couple rings on his fingers. And he's also got like you notice like a gunslinger would have a cross belt, and he's got a pair of daggers, one on each side on his belt. And he just slinks in. He's not very tall. He's actually just about Zora's size as well, and maybe a slightly bit taller than Zora. And yeah, and he spots Harriet, and like basically beelines directly for her just to see. So she's saw her run off in that angry to see how she is. So
I'm currently rocking back and forth with the mug in my hand, just very slightly, and making small chit chat with the woman who very clearly is uncomfortable, but not. But Harriet seems to just kind of not register that.
Yeah, I guess when Clash approaches, he'll look and then notice this tall. Well, yeah. How tall was she? She was about, you said, 6 foot tall?
Like 5'8".
Oh, okay. Well, still, she towers over. He's about 5'2". So,
Or
and
shorties.
then, yeah, and then, but he'll look at Harriet. Oh, Harriet, who's your friend here?
Her name is Rissa. She's really lovely. She understands me, and she's gonna go down the hall with us. It was decided maybe about 10 minutes ago. I don't really have much of a concept of time, but something like that. She's gonna come down. She's got a fancy bow, so I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd be able to be a great influence on the little one over there.
Why does everybody think I need influence? I'm going to lift the beer off someone else's table.
You need a role model. Everybody needs one.
I know.
My role model's Vernon.
I look at them both with like a quick look of confusion and then go back to talking to Harriet.
So anyways, like I was saying, your hair really reminds me of like a snowy evening, like that twilight area, and I was just bewildered by it. Just can't keep staring.
Oh, why, thank you.
Absolutely. Now, a quick side note. You guys, you lot, so I got some rooms since we are going to be homeless for a little while, so we can sleep there for the night. I'm just waiting on them to give me a price that I could pay them gold for. But until then, we have a room, and then we can go down the hall, and I can beat things out. Sound good?
Oh, yeah, that was great thinking. Oh, and I forgot to say that Clash has this really big dog with him that she's got like pouches, kind of like saddlebags, and it's got all his stuff loaded onto it. And she sits down at the table next to us, and I make sure she gets some water and stuff and food. But
I'm sure Dernan loves dogs. I don't think he'll mind.
And and at this time, Bonnie comes back over because she sees more people at your table, and she's like, "Oh, how you doing, Clash?" And oh, Zora, you're our little troublemaker, our little resident troublemaker. I see you've got your own pastries, and where'd you get that beer? And she tries to take it from you.
drinks, guzzling it.
Fine.
And you briefly see like somebody at the next table over who was like drinking their drink like normal, like, oh, I'm enjoying my beer, and they set it down on the table next to them, like kind of off to the side as they're talking to their friend, this like in a different direction, and then they go back to get their beer and it's gone, and they're like, "Huh, I thought I had a beer. Oh, I better find that waitress again." Okay, because Zora swiped it.
I'll ask Bonnie for some whiskey. I'll say, Bonnie, I think I need some whiskey. Our establishment got burned down, or not
Oh,
burned down, but
goodness.
damaged. Malicious people set fire to our bar.
Oh, you never can be too careful. There's always somebody, you know, there's always ruffians out there, and yeah, you really want to watch those. That's just a shame. It's just a shame that people can't be civil. I'll get you that whiskey, and Zora, honey, don't steal any more beer. And she turns around.
Okay, but I need a whiskey too.
All right, honey, I'll get you a whiskey. And she looks at you, Harriet, and she says,
And it was Emmett from Bruce Bruce over there. They burned our bar down.
"Oh, goodness, honey, you shouldn't say things like that. You shouldn't talk like gossip and stuff that start
Look at
rumors."
Dora and be like,
Yes.
do one of
Are
these.
there-
Like,
Well, that's why you tell the waitress, so everybody knows.
So, no, you don't want to say that kind of gossip. You wait for the City Watch to do their investigation, and we'll get back to him. Oh, this child is just a handful, and she's
Our
gonna
bartender
make...
literally gave me a note with his name on it, and I smelled kerosene, and the bar's on fire. So I'm just saying.
At this
there's
point, Clash has his hand around your mouth, and you're like,
I-
"But
and I'll say-
the bartender who's invisible."
to
I'm
Bonnie,
hitting the back of his hand with my bear claw. I'm like, what the?
like, Bonnie, bring the bottle, please. Just to bring a bottle.
And she goes, "Oh, this child has such an imagination. It's great." Oh, okay. Yes, a whiskey. And Harriet, normally the rooms are 8 silver pieces per night per room.
Okay.
Durnan is in a fairly generous mood, and he said you could have them for 7 silver pieces each a night. So depending on how many nights you want to stay in it, or leave your things. If you don't, you could just rent one room and leave all your things in the one room, and just rent the other rooms as you come back.
One big sleeping bag.
No, she's trying to explain that, like, you can rent 3 rooms for tonight, and then if you're going to be gone for a while, just keep all
Throw
your
our
stuff
stuff.
in one room. Yeah, so
Okay,
you're not wasting money.
We'll Clash rolling rolls. We'll take one.
Hey, Rolls.
The 3 rooms for tonight. And then we'll do 4 rooms because we have the lovely lady that I've kind of grabbed. So me and the little one will share a room, and then I don't know math very well. No, the 3 boys will share a room, and then I'll share a room with the little lady, and then so 3 rooms, and then we'll grab 1 room after tonight. What, we cuddle, don't we?
Yeah, you're not being left alone, Zora.
Yeah, the 3
They won't
boys are
let
going
you.
in 1 room.
3 boys.
Three
Harriet-
boys.
These are
Yeah,
3
me
boys.
and Harriet. Wait, there's
Who's
2
the
boys.
third
Sorry.
boy?
No, there's 2 boys. See, listen,
She just woke up.
8
okay?
intelligence. 8 intelligence. Leave me alone. So the
Math.
2 boys. I there was somebody else that I was counting, and I don't know who. So the 2 boys, Harriet and Zora, and then the lovely Rissa gets her own room that I will pay for since I have commandeered her.
Okay. That'll be 2 gold, 8 silver.
Okay, I'll just give her 3 gold pieces because I don't do very well counting. I think this is enough. And how much was the alcohol that I grabbed?
Oh, that was that special strong wine. I'm
It's
not sure.
very lovely.
He doesn't get that out for many people. I have to go ask him how much it is. I'll be right back. And
Okay.
she takes your gold. Did you want anything else?
No. A hug, maybe, but I don't think you guys can give me that.
Oh, I'll give you a hug. And she kind of like leans down and like hugs and she goes, "Oh, you're so soft. Oh my God, you're like the softest thing I've ever touched before." And
I,
she
I
hugs you
appreciate it.
and she goes
I'm
back
like tearing
and she
up.
said, "I'll be right back with your keys, with your whiskey, and uh with the price of that wine. See you in a
Okay.
minute." And she
Do I need to
goes,
make a con save?
"If you drink another one, yes."
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you want another
Absolutely.
one? She asked you
Yes.
if you want. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, and another mega pint of wine. Got
Mhm,
it.
mhm, mhm.
Okay. And so she leaves and goes back. How is everybody on time? Like
I'm okay
time
for now.
wise? Does people have to leave anytime in the next hour or so? Okay. Okay, okay. Let's take a 5 minute break for pottying
Okay.
and drink refills and whatnot for those of us far, far away. Okay. And I think is Marissa back? She's quiet.
Yeah, I'm back. I was just listening.
Okay, cool, cool. Um, okay, so we were cutting over to Azif. Azif, you were trying to get some intel with your Goblin Gang buddies, and are you have a history with them though, right?
Yes, these are my friends that have rampaged through town here and there, but they live in the crypts with me.
Okay, so they're just kind of like more underground than Zora's people. They're like the more black market sort of crew. Um, Zora knows all the street kids and the orphans in the sewers, but she doesn't know like the goblin underground. So you have a little bit more, like you have like another layer of intel. Um, what are you doing? Anything else after you talk to your friends down there? Just getting the
I
feelers out.
Yeah, I'm just giving them the feelers, unloading half of my stuff out of my hat that I got from the bar, so that I can have room in my hat. Grabbing a couple things and then heading to the bar post haste.
Okay, you make it down to the bar with no problem whatsoever. And as you enter into the yawning portal, you you see you do kind of a scan of the room, and you see um, your friends, your crew, all sitting at a table with a very pretty new person. And you walk over, and and Clash is sitting there, and he has his cup of whiskey. And at this point, you see Harriet now has not just the like sort of stained purple Joker smile, but like her whole top lip going up to her nose is stained. Her fur is stained purple, and her little nose, instead of being like its normal pink button, is like a sort of purple stained button. And she's much more relaxed, much happier. And I actually want you to give me a Constitution saving throw, Harriet. And then Zora is also just like has little like glazed donut crumbs stuck to her like sides of her mouth. And her eyes are really buggy, more than normal, and she's like just looking around the room, like panning, like just looking at everything, which is pretty normal for her, but you can tell she's on her sugar high.
I rolled a 12 plus 8, so that would be a 20.
Okay, you're doing great. You're still having a conversation. You're loving life with this new friend that you just made, which is literally like that's your MO. You like to make friends. You like to talk to people. It rarely turns out well, but but you're just really happy this turned out well so far. and you're happy that you have this new friend that's nice and talks to you, and you got a hug from Bonnie, so you're pretty happy. And Bonnie had just stopped by the table to drop off the keys to the rooms that you paid for, and drop off the whiskey and everything else. And she asks if you guys want any dinner, and that's when Azif arrives. And Azif, when you walk in, you walk over to the table, I assume, to where your friends are. Can you
Yes.
explain for Rissa what she sees when you walk in?
A 6 foot tall male with dark colored robes and beads across his neck in 2 strings that appear to be like small balls, but if you look at, are in fact teeth mixed with 5 or 6 white pearls. He is wearing a dark robes and a purple fedora hat with a band around it, and purple square cut sunglasses on his face. The hair is pulled back in a tight braid, and it is shock white. And as he walks up, you can see that most of his weapons that are visible on the outside of his robes have various parts of bone inlaid on them. And in fact, the gloves that he has on almost look like hands turned inside out, whereas the flesh is touching his own skin and the bones are on the outside, like almost like an exoskeleton of a skeleton. Haha.
Sort of Elton John meets Skeletor.
Yes, I like that.
Full fedora.
Yeah.
Not today, Skeletor.
You have to find that picture and don't write it, Jacob. Just find that picture, put it in the chat. It's great. Okay, anyway, not in the Discord chat. Okay, so that's what you see. Rissa, you see this big, uh, big as in tall and personality big person walk in and sit down. He like grabs an empty chair and pulls it up to the table. And Bonnie just happens to be standing there taking everybody's dinner order. So she's just going around the table getting your orders, and then she walks off, and now it's all of you guys.
Well, I'll pour a whiskey for Azif. I can't remember. Do you drink anyways, or he doesn't really drink?
Hey, where's mine?
I was
No,
gonna
I do
get to
not
you.
like to drink.
Oh, well, I'll pour it anyways. You might want one anyways. I pour a little, like a quarter shot for Zora, and I'll put one in front of the bunny and in front of her new friend. I'll say to Azif, Azif, we found out some information. I don't know if you found anything out, but Zora was able to glean a little bit of information, so I think we need to discuss that.
I've put out my own feelers among my people, but I would be very interested to find out if you found anything out yourself.
Zora.
But yeah, it was the guy that owns Bruce Cruise. They dumped kerosene on the stairs, and then they didn't do a very good job.
You know, I had a feeling about that guy. I remember Celine telling me one time that guy would like put the rats inside the place or something like that beforehand and caused them some mischief before.
I say we take him out.
Oh, do we want to confirm that it's him for sure? Do we want to? How do we want to approach this, or do we want to?
We can do all of that later.
I smelled the kerosene myself.
At this point, you guys see, and Harriet, you don't know this person, and neither would Rissa, but the rest of the group, you guys see your, I wouldn't call her your employer, more of a subcontractor. You see Obaya heading up to you, and she walks up and she says, "Oh, hello, friends. I see that you've safely returned. Were you able to find any items that we had discussed?"
Greetings, Abaya.
Say, well,
Great cleric. We have found magical items down in the underworld below the border.
Can't hear you.
And did you want me to take a look at them?
Oh yes. Let's see. There is a basilisk eye. There is a fang of a monster. There's stomachs of monsters. There is this helm of blasting that we found down there. There.
I lost you. Oh,
I'm still
it
thinking.
stopped. Okay.
A scroll of sending.
Hmm.
There is. Let's see. We found a couple of these weapons, but I do not believe that any of them are very magical.
All right. Do you mind if I take a look at them, and I just want to examine them and see if they would be valuable at all to my prince? And
I'm going to
she
try and
says,
pawn off that dark shard necklace too.
"The what?"
I put it in the Beyond 20. I've had it for like 3 months.
I thought you gave that to Zeef.
I tried, he didn't want it.
Yes, it is an item that you must become very familiar with, and I am already familiar with too many items.
As Abaya's looking at these items, kind of like, 'cause she's got to like take her time and like meticulously inspect them before she decides if she wants to buy them from you. Azif, I want you to make a perception check, please.
You don't see nothing.
Yeah, you're having a good time. You are in a familiar place and with familiar faces, and you're just enjoying the day. Now, it's kind of a bummer that you have to be here because your home was charred, but you're making the best of it and enjoying your time. And you don't see anything.
Who is this pretty lady?
She's my new friend.
I look over and introduce myself. I'm Rissa, but you can call me Rissa for short. I met your good friend Harriet here.
Anarissa, that is a pretty name. You should go by your full name. I have many friends around this town. I am glad to make your acquaintance.
Thank you. And it just gets a little hard for people sometimes.
You want a bear claw?
I have a chocolate bar. Would you like that?
You want to trade a chocolate bar for a bear claw?
Sure.
Oh,
I'll
I
do the
forgot.
trade
I
with
have all the candy, and I just like start like pulling candy out of every pocket and slapping it, and it's like a mountain of candy on the table. Here,
Whoa.
enjoy, and I push it forward while I'm just like,
Harriet, you got to learn something about Zora.
yeah.
You can't give it all to her at once. She's going to be a mess. She's going to have a.
Oh, I
She's
mean,
going to crash. She's going to go up and act crazy, and then it's going to come down. There's going to be the sugar rush.
I can put them away.
I want to.
And I'll start slowly taking
Immediately I shoot Clash's whiskey and start opening chocolates.
Oh, great.
Oops,
Make
too
a sleight
bad.
of hand. I know you're gonna pass because you have like a plus 25 or some bullshit, but make a sleight of hand check. And are you trying to stop her, Clash?
Yeah, if she's trying to snatch mine, I would stop her if I could.
Okay, make an opposing perception check, Clash.
Oh, that's terrible for me.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah, there's no way. I can't. She's over 20. I can't. I get a -1.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, she gets it and like slams it and puts the glass back before you even notice that the glass was gone.
I have mine still in front of me.
So now you've shot a glass of whiskey and stole someone's beer. I need you to make a con saving throw, Zora.
Sugar and the alcohol up and down. It might actually
Oh.
regulate her out, though.
Hey,
Might be good for her.
One's an up or one's a down.
There you go. Nope.
And just like clockwork, she slams the whiskey, shoves some more candy in her mouth, and passes out on the table.
That's our Zora.
I learned my lesson.
You are now passed out, Zora, and incapacitated.
All right.
Okay, so I'll take the candy that's left on the table and I'll start like putting it back in the pockets so it becomes a fun little game of like grab bag whenever Zora wants to lift it off of me.
I'm 90% unconscious, and I'm like,
It just becomes a surprise game, you know, like dogs with like the little kibble toy. They have to like figure out where it is. And that's Zora now.
Yeah. So Obaya, witnessing all of this as she's inspecting these items, looks down at this child who just passed out and said,
Don't worry about it.
Assistance?
I'll scoop her up like a baby and I'll just rock her and sing to her.
She's fine.
Yeah,
She'll
I
do
just
this all
sit there
she does this all the
shocked,
time.
like just watching the whole thing happen.
Welcome to the group.
Yeah.
So who had the list of items that you guys were selling? Because I'll go ahead and give you like I need you guys to look them up by.
30.
They should say what they are. Like the Dark Shard amulet is a common item. So for here, I'll type it in. This is what she's willing to pay you guys. Oh, that's common, 10 platinum pieces. Uncommon, it chopped it up, I'm sorry. Uncommon, 50 plat. Rare, 500 plat. And very rare, 5,000 plat.
That's something we can total up at the, like, when we're all done? Like, after
Yeah. We could do that on the off time stuff. Just so that I just wanted you guys to have a reference so that you know. And so she'll pay you for whatever things that you have that are in those categories. And then so she's gonna go back to her seat and sit down.
As much as I want to get back down into the hole as well, Harriet, I know you're excited to get down. I think we need to take care of this personal business first. Zeef, what do you think about inquiring if this guy is responsible for? We need to get to the bottom of it.
I do agree, but two wrongs don't make a right. If we happen to put his bar into ashes, does it really help serve anything?
Oh, we don't have
If
to
we
put his
get the
bar into ashes.
magistrate and we get the magistrate involved, we have to have proof that it was him.
Right. So what I'm saying is how we want to go about it. I wasn't saying burning down his bar. I was saying maybe directly dealing with him, and we could go about it a couple of ways. Come in strong, come in stealthy, or we can come in direct. So I don't know what you think, but I know we should probably deal with that before we get back down in the hole.
Yes, I'm not thoroughly sure how it would be done. Maybe we could talk to Durnan and see what his suggestions would be to get our bar fixed. Then we would know how much it's going to cost us in case we want to maybe extort from this gentleman.
Okay.
Compensation.
Three wrongs or two wrongs don't make a right, but three lefts do. So I say we leave him childless, leave him barless, leave him
You
lifeless.
are sleeping.
Mumbling in
Yeah,
her sleep.
numbers.
Yeah, so you're like incoherently mumbling things like penniless. No, he's gonna be penniless.
Yes,
And
three
then-
lefts do make a right, but then you're end up in a block difference.
At which
Oh.
point the door opens and in walks your good old friend that you all recognize except for Issa, and maybe Harriet. You recognize your friend Volo walks in, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing, guys? Oh, it's good to see you again. Hey, Azif and Clash, how are ya? It's Mario."
It's a good Volo. It's
It's
been
a
a long
Volo.
time since seeing ya.
Yes, I haven't seen. Oh no, I saw you yesterday or the day before. Did you guys have any luck finding the
The alabaster throne.
the throne? Yeah. How does it go? Any leads? You guys, I'm so glad to see you made it out. Not very many adventurers make it back out.
Speaking of that, let me go ask Durnan something. You guys stay here. I'll be back.
I'll pour him a shot out of Zora's glass and pass it to him, but I will
Okay.
keep the bottle close to me and away from
Yes.
his hand.
Okay. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, friend. You're such a good man. I have this new book I'm writing, and it's gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be great. But I'd really like to hear how was your trip down there? Did you see anything crazy? Did you make any acquaintances down there? There's so much legend and lore and things to be
I'll,
found out and discovered. Do you have any like gross monster parts? Maybe I could take a look and draw them in
Yeah.
my book.
I became a
I'll say-
vegetable.
that was a
Were
thing.
you like a sweet potato?
I hope so.
You seem like a really sweet girl.
Oh, thank you. Listen, you're such a suck up, sir. I appreciate it.
I am Volo Gedarm. I'm not suck up.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
I am
What's up,
famous
Volo?
explorer.
Volo seems to be going back and forth from Italian to Russian.
Yeah.
He can do what he wants, apparently.
I'll tell Volo that when Azif gets back, he can show him some of the describe some of the things we saw down there as we're waiting. Things we ran into.
So you're gonna like sit there and talk to him and like describe the monsters and the things that you guys and what you did to like combat them, to kind of give him some idea of like resistances and what they're vulnerable to and what they look like
Right.
and all that kind of thing.
Their
Okay.
armor class is
For his
17.
book?
They have 144 hit points.
No, he's writing his monster book.
I'm going to go up to Durnan and ask Durnan, with the board of the names that he has going up and down the list, if he's heard of Copper, Stormforge, Rex, Hammer, and Milda Talberth, the fine fellows of Daggerford, and see if Howleth, I think his name was Howleth, was with them and how long ago that they had went down, and if they'd come back up.
Okay. He is going to tell you that information in just a second.
Call Azif. I totally forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what else do while we're talking? I'm talking to Volo. I'll slip in a little bit of just a kind of question. I'll say, "Hey, Volo, do you know anything about this? Where the guy EF guy? Do you know anything about him and his tower?"
An EF? I don't.
Emrak.
Ever Friejon. I gotta write it down.
I don't know an Emirate Friejon. No. Mm-mm. But maybe they're new to town. You know, Volo knows everybody.
Oh, you don't know this person? Yeah, he runs a tavern in town, right down the road from ours.
Oh, you're talking about a Fruz Brews.
That place, yes. You know the
Fruns
owner of that?
Brews. Oh, that's a trashy place. You don't want to go there. Don't even drink his swill. It's the worst in town. Everybody knows it. I don't even know how he's still in a business. I don't even know how. He's got rats and cockroaches and all sorts of manner of terrible infestations. People even find like a cockroach in their food. I don't. I think the guilds should shut him down. He must know someone or be friends or family or something with someone because it's trash. But don't go there. He's no good.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
You said he might be friends with someone? Is
He
that right? What if.
It's
What if.
surprising. He's a surprising man that he could keep business open and not have the city shut him down with the guilds because it's such a trashy service and such a trashy food and
But what if.
quality. Mm,
What if.
what if?
What if the people who came barging in that one day, what if they were family or like friends to this person? Maybe we beat them up and they were like a part of them or something. So that's why they burned it. Because they were talking about it. So maybe that's why.
That's a possibility.
Plus, I mean, you guys seem to be. I mean, I've heard it. You guys say it a few times. Maybe with a combination of the friend family thing, maybe, and then like the fact that you guys are a really good bar, he needs everybody else to go to him. It's possible.
It could be. That's a good deduction.
That's
I
not a
guess
bad idea, my fluffy friend. That's not a bad idea at all. Yeah, he's probably looking for business, and you did such a good job with the tavern and the opening, and you did all the hard work after I gave it to you, and it's very impressive. He might have caught wind of how good it was, and now he's trying to get his business back.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna go to bed. I will take the child with me. Um, Anarissa, I think I got that one right. Your room awaits you as well, my dear.
Thank you very much. And I too shall go to bed.
Excellent.
Oh, you guys head up to your rooms and turn in for the night. In the meantime, Azif, you're talking to Durnan, and what exactly did you specifically ask him?
I gave him the 3 names of the individuals that Howleth gave us with the name of
Right.
Howleth and told him that he was a cleric without his vestibules and to see if the three fellows had come back up, or if he knew how long ago they had went down to give us a good time frame.
So you guys, in the timeline that we're currently working with, you guys have gone down twice. The first time was with the entire old party, and then you came back up, and then you went back down without the old party but with Harriet, and came back up. So that's 2 days worth, right? That you've been down. Or did you come up? You stayed up because you had to clear off some conditions.
Yeah, we waited a couple days.
Yeah, we stayed
for
up
his-
4 days.
Okay. Yeah, I just needed to add that into. Durnan says, Haleth, cleric, you say?
I thought we were
I
asking
remember.
Bolo.
No, he's at the bar asking.
Oh,
Durnan.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, that's that Joaquin following fella, and they actually call themselves the Fine Fellows of Daggerford. Yeah, no, I remember them. Let me look at my ledger over here, and he looks at he pulls out from underneath the counter, and he's like, fine fellow. Looks here like they went down like 2 weeks ago, and I haven't seen them. They haven't come back up this way. It's been about 2 weeks, I'd say. Yeah. They're probably dead.
Yes, I fill him in with the what the cleric of Joaquin had told us, and told us
That's
that
Haleth.
yeah, that's Haleth. What he
you
told
guys
us.
left him waiting down there, didn't you?
No, he got turned into a goblin. He became a goblin.
Yeah,
or
but
something
he's
'cause
waiting, isn't he?
No, he
Yeah,
said
he
he's going to
is.
go back looking for him. He can't stop his search.
Yeah, that's right.
We-
That's right.
We tried to get him to come up with us.
Yeah, no, that's right. He had to go back and look for them again. Yeah.
So I explained to Durnan about the issue with the what we were told about, and how they had he claimed that the three had backstabbed him over some type of treasure or something like that, and said that if they do come up, I would notify the city guard or something like that. And I asked him if he could find out any kind of information to send the remains that I happen to have in my hat with me to a family member or something like that to get proper
what
burial.
remains do you have in your hat?
The body of Haleth.
Oh, the old body of Haleth, because he had to go into a new body. Yeah. Durnan kind of does one of those looks around to see if anybody's looking or watching, and he leans in and he says, yeah, man, I've been down there myself. It's the dungeon. It can do stuff to you. It can
It's like
change
Vegas.
you. It can change you. Yeah. No, people who are normally greedy, it can make you a little crazy and greedy, and I've seen it happen quite a bit where people, they'll kill their best friend over some items that might be worth some gold or some powerful thing. There's a lot of stuff down there. It's cursed. You should stay away from it. You just have to be real careful, man. Just when you go down, make sure you know the people you're with, that they got your back, because it could get real hairy down there. And I'm not surprised that this happened. It happens a little more often than I'd like to admit, but yeah, we can. I'll let you know if they show back up, especially if they show back up without Haleth.
That sounds very good. Thank you. And also, I pull out a flask that I had, and it's the drink that Clash brought to me. That was the leftover of Celine's pride. and give it to him and tell him that this is we have a half a keg to 3/4 a keg, whatever was left of this, and to see if he can sell it or we can get it replicated to bring back to the bar when we open back up.
Is it in a bottle or
It's like
what is it in?
a flask, like a not a flask, like like a leather wine bag, wineskin. That's it.
Okay, in like a big wineskin.
Yeah.
All right. He says,
It's
mind
about
if
a
I try
bottle
it?
of wine worth.
Mind if I try it out? Just a little sip.
Yeah, and I pour it out for him in one of his glasses.
Takes a swig. I have never. I've been doing this a long time, and I've never, ever tasted anything so good. You got to get me the brew recipe that this. You said an elf did this?
This was our friend Celine. She was the one who came in, the monk who came in.
Oh,
She was
yeah,
a very
the
strong
quiet girl.
brewmaster. Yes.
The quiet
Yes.
girl. Yeah. She looked a little intimidating, but
She could kick flapjacks like nobody's business.
oh, flapjacks, huh? Yeah, she I didn't take
You're
her
not
really
there.
for like a
You're
a
in bed.
cook. Yeah, you are in bed. I didn't
He's
take her
upstairs
for a
fencing it.
cook. Yeah. I didn't really take her for a cook. I thought she'd be more of like a, one of those ninja kind of girls, like that girl that we have running around town right now, the Black Viper. Like that. That's kind of what I thought Celine might have been, something like. And the Black Viper, Azif.
I do know the Black Viper.
Goes by another name.
Yes.
I lean
into Durnan and I say, let's leave her out of this, please. By the way, do you know which building she's going to be around later?
Wait, what are you asking?
I'm asking Durnan if he knows around kind of which building she's going to be around later.
Oh, man, I don't know. She's probably up in the like the Castle Ward or like the North Ward picking. I think picking pockets might be a little below her pay grade, but she's probably up there like stealing jewels from the nobles and stuff, because that's what she does.
Yes, that does sound like her type of prey.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, I don't know who she really is. I just know she's this like mythical creature or something. But
I honestly think that she is a great lady doing great things for those out there.
Well, cheers. Great ladies then. And he pours himself a little bit more of Celine's beer, and he's like, "Man, I really, really need to get this girl's recipe, and if there's any way you guys can bring her back, that'd be great." But
like tasting Heineken for the first time.
What?
Like tasting Heineken for the first time.
Right.
What is this?
Either you love it or you hate it.
Odds.
Yeah. So
I thank Durnan for his information and help.
Okay. He said, anytime. You guys, Bonnie here tells me you guys are staying here tonight and maybe a couple extra nights, and she said you had some trouble up there. I really hate to hear about that, but if there's anything I could do to help, let me know. Put the feelers out. There's so much going on here all the time. It's sometimes it's a little hard to keep track of, and this whole portal, I gotta keep it running. So, but if I do hear anything, I'll let you know. And I hope you guys enjoy the room upstairs. And if you need anything, just send someone down, and we'll take care of you.
Actually, there is one
going
thing.
Back down tomorrow? Sorry.
Yes, there is one more thing. With the great business that you have established in this, on top of this, hole into the netherworlds. You know a lot of people in the hierarchy of the bar world in the different taverns. We have recently gained information that Froon's Brews, a establishment that is on the same block as us, has
As soon as
reopened.
you say the words Froon's Brews, he gets like a sour look on his face, like, oh.
Yes, the place is swill. It is swill. But it's strange that I am being told by friends that it has opened on the same day that our establishment has caught on fire and burnt down. Now, I have been to Froze Burns before with lower established individuals, and I know that the type of pig piss that they serve there for alcohol is horrible, and it cannot stay in business on its own merit. So it must have a benefactor or something like that of a higher standing so that it can stay in business and maybe earn money that is not above board, if you will. And I believe that all of our establishments would be benefited if it was permanently taken out of the picture. Do you know who the benefactor is or can get information on who the benefactor is that runs this place?
Nah, I think this guy inherited the building from family, and he tried to make a successful bar, but he just doesn't have what it takes. And you gotta have kind of an eye and an ear, and you gotta be. You don't have to be militant, but you gotta make sure the customers are happy. And I've heard so many customers were never happy at that place, so it's no wonder he got shut down for a little while. It's a good theory though. Good theory that he might have like a benefactor or somebody he knows who allowed him to get back up and started. It is a little odd coincidence that you say he's open again.
Yes. I remember that there was an issue very, very troublesome last time that he was
Hmm.
closed.
Yeah.
Now he's
Yeah.
opened on the same time that our place burned down. So very suspect.
Oh, very, very, very suspicious. I would definitely keep him in mind. I can't do anything for you. We're not even in the same ward, being down here. Uh, you guys are up in the North Ward, and so it's not really anything I can handle for you. But if you come up with any information, talk to the City Watch so everything's on the up and up with you guys. You definitely don't want to do anything, vindictive if you don't have all the information and it's not cleared through the right channels, if you get my drift.
Yeah, the city legal is very, very
Oh,
strict.
yeah.
Strict and very punishable.
I had I had 25 racks of lamb that were supposed to come in, and the inspector from that damn guild came over and said some of the meat had a little spot of green on it, and they wouldn't let me keep all 25 of them. You know how much I could have made off of that? That's the bureaucracy in the city, and it's tough. So if this guy, and I've been to his establishment, if he's serving that trash again, he's paying somebody off for sure.
That sounds very interesting. I say just cut the green off and cook it. You'll never see it anyway.
Yeah, we put it down in the ice box and it's fine. Freezes right off. Plus, Bonnie's got some abilities. She could take care of stuff like that.
Oh, I have heard about things that she can take care of. Hi, Bonnie. I tip my hat to her.
How you doing,
Wait.
Azif? You're doing good. You're looking good today.
Oh,
I
thank
gotta.
you, Bonnie.
She grabs the beers and takes them to her other customers.
Okay, that is it. I tell him thank you for his time and patience, and I will go off and talk to Clash and Volo.
Okay. Yeah, Volo's like whatever bits and parts of like monster stuff that you had taken out to show Abaya to see if she wanted to purchase any of them. He's kind of like looking at them. He's like picking up the different pieces and like examining them and sketching them and doing all that kind of stuff with them.
I pull out my Werven skull. out of my hat and lay it on the table for him.
Good God, man! What is this? This is amazing. It's preserved so well.
It was going to go on the wall in our bar when we got back, but it is burnt.
That's a tragic, man. That's a real tragic, man. That's terrible. You know, if you find that alabaster throne, my friends, the elf people, they're gonna pay really, really well for that throne location. You just gotta go find it, and you could use the money to rebuild the bar.
That sounds very good. Do you or Obeda, do
Abaya.
you have you ever heard of a throne that is serpent? Huge bone throne that is serpents, and when you sit on it, it bites a hold of you. Like, it was amazing, and I would love to have it, but it's too big for me to carry out of the bar or out to the tunnels.
A bone, a throne, you say? That just seems kind of I don't know.
Hey, everybody gets their kicks in different ways.
Hey, I'm not a judging. I'm not a judging you. Yeah, I research monsters for a living. I don't. Is it just for like a personal use?
I was going to put it in a bar like bet who can sit in it the longest type of thing, you know? Like, they have those things in some bars where they put the lightning spell on it, and you grab a hold of the two metal posts and you shock you like this until you see who can let go the most.
Ah, yes, silly games in the bars. No, I have not heard of such a thing, and this is actually the first time but gosh, I'd like to see it.
I pull out my journal and I show him the drawings of the pictures that I took down there, the maps that I drew out on the bar or on the layout of the first floor. And it's got like a key and shows like, you know, A, B, C, D, or alpha, beta, kappa, theta, Z, and shows them the like elevator and has like a description of it, and it shows them the mirror and what's on the other side of the mirror, the room, the skull, the snake wrapped around the pillars, different things like that, and give as much detail as I can. And I show them the ingots that we pulled out that were stamped with a hammer on one side and the anvil on another.
This is amazing. How did you get so far? You must have been deep into as you go down a many levels.
No, we were only on the first level. It's actually quite larger than you think it is. It's such a small
Oh,
hole, but it's a whole world underneath.
I mean, you may want to get a cartographer to redraw some of this stuff, but you did a really good job
Yes,
with the maps and the things.
I actually have a plan next time that we go down to see if maybe I can make it a little bit more detailed.
Okay, sounds good. Don't forget, you gotta find that alabaster throne. My friends are looking, and he he goes over to like kind of leans towards Clash and with his cup, and he's like, you think I could get another one of those drinks to go? I'm gonna go talk to my friends over here.
I'll pour him one more.
One for the road.
You are the finest people. I just adore you, and I hope we meet again soon. And he cheers like the table, whoever's left, because it's just the two of you now with him. And he says, "You have a good night." And then he lets himself exit.
So I guess Zeep and I'll, since we're the last two, we can up to bed. But as we're walking up, I'll kind of, we're alone and there's nobody else listening around. I'll say, listen, I do have an idea if we do want to go the route of trying to approach this other bar owner. It might backfire. It could actually solve all the problems as well of actually even getting our bar rebuilt. So I have an idea. I don't know if we want to. But we can talk about it in the morning if you'd like, when everybody's up for breakfast.
That sounds like a great plan. I feel like I'm going to go sew a sweater and fix my hat for tonight. I'll skip reading.
Sew a sweater and.
Fix my hat. Because I got to work on my hat every night.
Right. Yeah, you do.
Mhm. Let's take.
Hey, I gotta pee.
You're in bed with
Bunny.
Harriet. Yeah.
Hey, I gotta pee.
You have a chamber pot in there. All the rooms come with a chamber pot.
Would a chamber pot be the same for all the species? Like one chamber pot in the room for all the different species?
What do you mean? They
Like-
get changed out daily?
Is a lizard chamber pot the same as a Minotaur's chamber pot?
Well, in the city of Waterdeep, it's not often that you see like lizard folk or minotaurs, but it's a progressive and
You think there's like sizes, like a A,
it's
B,
like
C, D?
oh no, I was saying like the city itself is like very forward thinking progressive.
Mm-hmm.
They have all like you can find all the cutting edge state of the art technology for medieval fantasy world. But no, I think the chamber pots are pretty standard. Yeah, they're pretty standard for adult humanoid size and anatomy. So it's just going to be like a big pot with a lid that fits your average human man's derriere to like sit down and or
So Zora
yeah.
falls in.
Yeah, they do have
That's
like
what I was going for. Oh yeah,
No,
Zora's skinny little butt, not paying
So-
attention, drunk, falls into it.
No, they have they have adapters that would be like a high chair that you'd put on a like a table at a restaurant. They have like a high chair, but it's for children for chamber pots that you could like set on it so they don't fall in.
It's like the little pond seat you set on the commode seat.
She has very strong calves too. Remember, she can hold herself up.
Yeah, she can.
I thought it was like, the Chinese bathroom hole in the floor type thing, where you just like squatty potty thing.
That's not just in China.
I know.
When I arrived at I'm not gonna say country, not like south. It's on a continent south of Europe. um, there was a line. It was one bathroom, and there was a line. They didn't have male and female. It was one bathroom, and you go in, and they had one stall, and it was like a hole in the ground, and that was it. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. People do this? Like, this was at the airport. Like the international airport. And I was like, no way. This is insane. Anyway, yeah. So, it would just be like a adaptive seat that would go on the chamber pot for Zora. With like railings, like bumper guard railings on the side, so she couldn't like.
Yeah, if it was a lizard folk trying to check into the hotel, they'd hand her with her key, with her hotel key, they'd give her like a lizard seat. What did you call it? Connection for your chain.
Adapter.
Lizard adapter, yes.
Okay, you guys go to bed. And that's where we'll end the session today. So I will have prepared either dungeon crawling or vengeance. Yeah, Operation Vengeance or whatever you guys want to do.
Dish best served cold.
Yeah, but you guys have been down into the dungeon now, and so you know that like it's about a day's worth to travel through like the top level if you don't know where you're going, but you have your homemade map now, so you do know where you're going to get to the exit to go down another level. So it shouldn't take a whole day. It should only take a couple of hours for you to traverse that, knowing exactly where you're going. But you also know from what the sergeant the City Watch had said that they were going to be investigating for a couple of days. So you can either pick to go do your own investigations, or you can like let them take care of it and then go try to find glory and riches and the money to pay for
Oh,
the
I think
repairs that you're going to have to do.
I think as far as Zora's concerned, we know who did it, right, Zora?
Yes, but I'm going to very, very strongly speak to her in the morning about legality and prison
Yes.
sentences and
Yeah. Yeah, Zora's not familiar with like the just the rule of law and what's it called when you're like innocent until proven guilty, like due process,
due
like
process.
that whole like due process kind of thing. You guys will have to find evidence and actually like find, if you can, witnesses or anything, and you have to have a motive established and everything. Like just a competing bar isn't necessarily a motive.
Yeah, but when I go to
It's a motive when your bartender tells you they've earned it down.
You can also ask him if he knows anything about it.
but I'm going to
Yeah.
knit a red vest with like hearts patches all over it. So that I can, with like little buttons and stuff, so that's what I'm going to be knitting that night, or not knitting, but like sewing together out of like a good, heavy, thick fabric, like a cotton or something like that, with like little hidden pockets in it and all kinds of little pockets made
Like
out of
for
hearts.
you to wear?
Not for me, not for me.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm going to be working on that night and fixing my hat.
Okay. Yes. And you would have possibly run into the future owner of said heart vestige.
I will in the morning.
Well, she may or may not have been there and seen you, but you didn't see her, because that's how she rolls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You didn't. You got a 5 on that perception check. Sorry.
That's all right.
His girlfriend. Yeah. Or he wishes it was his girlfriend.
She will be by the end.
Yeah. I like having that. I like
Will be
having
mine.
NPC player relationships, like kind of. Right now it's only hinted at, but there's a future possible. Azif is trying super hard not to be out of her league, but it is gonna be rough. I mean, she's another good lead. I gotta write that down.
Do we know her? Do I know her by chance?
Yeah, you were
You have
there.
met Lady Rosnar.
Yeah, the two of you
yes.
were the only two in the party that have interacted with her like lengthy, because you went to like the tower where the dragon was
Right.
underneath, and
Right.
she was like talking, and that's where you guys were introduced to her.
I wasn't sure that's who you were talking about. That's why.
We are looking for
I
her
remember.
brother down in the hole.
Yeah, you guys have a mission to find her brother down there. So, and I don't know if you guys noticed. Okay, since we're done for the night or whatever, I'll stop the recording. But I was